calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Get them.
Hello and welcome to Tech High School, home of the semifinals of the City Alliance, the 71st City Alliance. I'm Coach Myers. I'll be with you during the pregame show with Kevin Lewis, my buddy, and 71 years, Kevin, of doing this tournament. What a big tournament.
Awesome tournament here. Display of all the kids around here. Opportunity for people to come out and watch what is Indianapolis' best athletes in basketball.
And you know, you look at the two matchups tonight, some people are surprised Cathedral, the number 1 seed, taking on Heritage Christian, the number 4 seed. The surprise, though, is Addicts, number 2 seed, and Washington, the second game tonight, as the number 12 seed. Matchups, a lot of one side or the other, but it's a city tournament. Anybody can win this thing.
Here's the thing about it. The cards are played earlier. They know they were seated. They know what's going on. If you want to control your seat, lose your games, do whatever that. However, it is what it is, and that's the way it's going to be played out. The best thing about it is we're going to be here to watch both these great games tonight.
Yep, the city game number 1 that we'll preview real quick. Heritage Christian at 10-3, Cathedral at 11-1. Coach Delaney has been with Cathedral 8 years. He's been coaching for 20 years. He's won some state championships. He's the seasoned veteran. The young guy, Trey, may learn some things from him today.
You know, it's funny. There's a first for a lot here. First for Trey. This is his first year. This is my first year doing something like this, and I remember Jason Delaney, his first year ever coaching at Waldron High School in the regionals in the morning. He was sweating crazy.
Buckets.
But I tell you what, he is a veteran. It'll be nice to see how the first-year coach goes up against the veteran coach.
Kevin Lewis, the president of the Iowa Officials Association. We cannot do anything without our officials. Official Human sponsors our official segment. Talk a little bit about the IOA and the officials, and then talk a little bit about the whole entire state of Indiana, because the numbers are getting better. I'm looking at some numbers getting better, but we still need some officials.
We're always deprived. The thing about it is, you know, basketball is one situation where everybody in the state of Indiana, as you know, is the mentality of Indiana. It's basketball. Everywhere else, it's something here. But the thing about it is we do have a shortage of officials in all the other sports. We've had baseball games, softball games, wrestling matches canceled because of the lack of not having officials. But at Indiana Officials Associations, we're the largest association in the state. We are working in concerted effort with all the other associations in the state and with IHSAA, who we're all independent contractors for, to recruit officials. White, black, anybody that's able to get out and do it. We also have provisional opportunities for kids in high schools doing it now, where we have high schools making it part of their curriculum, where they learn how to become officials there, and we put them with veteran officials, paying them very good money to get out.
Okay, Kevin, when I started officiating, we still had 2 guys. Now you have 3 guys. When I left, 3 guys came on. I should have stayed another 35 years. No, I could have made it. But talk a little bit about how the game has changed. The game is more physical. The kids are faster. The officials, you got to get in shape. Talk a little bit about that. I know you're working on a knee injury coming back soon. Talk a little bit about the conditions that the officials have to go through.
There is. You know, there's a big thing about we always want to try to take care of ourselves year in, year out. But you know what? The officials that really take pride in themselves and do well are the ones that they get prepared before the season starts.
As we're right next to the officials today. They called a timeout. The JV game is going on right now. I do believe Addicts is leading 42-29 in the JV game. Cathedral won the first game. We're live from Tech High School, the city semifinals tonight. 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock start having for you. Going to be running a little late, just as normal, Kevin. So talk a little bit of officials and statewide. Talk a little about Mr. Lewis and how he gets involved with that. Brian Lewis, that is.
Okay, Brian Lewis, Assistant Commissioner, IHSAA, who's the head of the boys tournament, but also he's the head of all the officials of all sports in the state of Indiana. Brian Lewis, and in conjunction with Paul Knighting, the commissioner, have implemented what we call K-Launch. K-Launch is a program that is out there that any individual from 16 years old all the way up to 99, if he or she is interested, all they have to do is hit this K-Launch. You can text on it and simply follow the prompts right there on the spot with immediate response back to you. You then are contacted by various associations geographically set up to what you put in as your zip code. And then you will have mentors provided for you. Scholarships are available. When I say scholarships, your first year is free, provided you take the test and pass the test. Everything is taken care of for you from there. That's just the start. And
there's the start of it. If you want more information, you can contact our website as well as IndianaSRN.org. We'll take care of you that way as well. When we come back, well, it takes an alumni association to get involved. Tech High School has the best alumni association in the state. Now, that's what they told me. I'm reading off the cue card. We'll have those guests when we come back. You're watching the pregame show of the City Alliance Championship Series.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah!
Come on!
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to the semifinals of the City Alliance. We're midway through the third quarter of the JV game. Addicts leads 42-30. We'll have our pregame show with Troy Daragowski and Coach with you in just a couple minutes. With us now is the Alumni Association at Tech High School. You need a good alumni association. Tim, you've been around this association for a long, long time. Don't tell us your age, but talk a little bit about the Alumni Association. How good is Anita doing as president?
Oh, she is fabulous. We're very happy with her. We don't want to let go.
Okay, she can't leave. Okay, good. Talk a little bit about the museum, though. You got a museum on campus. Talk a little bit about that. You invited us. I can't wait. I'll come Monday or Tuesday. I'll look you up.
We have a museum that's over 3,000 square feet in the media center, which is just the next building up. And it was started for the centennial in 2012. Yes. 1912. That's when the school started.
That's how old Tim is. 1912. We played basketball right here. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tim. You know we ad lib here in the pregame show. It's okay, Tim. No one knows. No one's watching, Tim.
So anyway, we had the full history of Tech from the first 50 years, and then a student section, and we get a lot of donations from alumni. The maintenance staff here at Tech finds stuff and brings to us all the time. So it's really an interesting museum, and we're in the process of redeveloping it right now.
You know, I told you guys off air that my wife graduated from Tech High School. She remembers playing games here all the time. Now, there's a banner up there with Joe Sexton. Is there stuff with Joe? Is Joe's shoes in the museum?
No.
They need to get Joe's shoes.
Yes, they may be here in the gym somewhere. I don't know. Because there is stuff from that's museum-oriented here in the gym.
It's pretty cool, though. You look at this building, the building's old. Talk a little bit of how important it is for this city championship being played at this place.
Oh, it's great. It's great for the school, and it's great, I think, for the city to be able to come here and just sometime the first time seeing the campus, especially if they're able to come in the daylight and see it. It's an amazing campus.
I have to tell you, before Kevin takes over with Anita, I played in this city tournament for Howe High School. Christmas Addicts wore long green socks and bright gold pants. Larry Humes was their coach. The next year, Larry Humes coached at Howe. Guess who he cut? That's right, he did. Anita, Kevin, it's up to you. Go ahead.
Miss Anita, as the president of the associate or alumni here, what do you do? How do you get your people involved as far as previous alumni and things? And how you reach out?
So that's actually a great question, because we have an awesome alumni association. They're all volunteers, and so their passion for Tech, their love for the school, and support of the staff and students, I think it goes without saying. We meet on a monthly basis, and it's our time to come together and work towards fulfilling our mission, and that mission is to continue to support the staff and school. In terms of all of the other alumni members of the association, we reach out to them at minimum on a biannual basis, and so we have a great newsletter that we send out to anyone that graduated from Tech High School. We also post information on Facebook as well. And so there's just a number of different channels that we leverage to try to stay connected with everyone.
As a witness of Tech's alumni and the strength of them, I remember at Cambridge when Tech was down there for the state finals just a few years back, I was just blown away at all the people, Indianapolis Tech, that came out sporting their colors and supporting Tech High School when they were playing in the state finals that year.
Oh yes. We look for, as an association, every opportunity that we have to get out and support the students here. Us being present today is just another opportunity for us that we try to always leverage to be out, support the staff, and support the students for sure.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, Miss Anita, we are very appreciative of you guys welcoming us to your house here. And I will say this as an official and hearing all the basketball players talk, as Jim and Keith were talking earlier about the gym, basketball players around here in the state of Indiana expressed this is probably one of the top 3 gyms in the state of Indiana to come. This is considered a shooter's gym, this atmosphere in here. So Tech High School, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Miss Anita. When we come back, well, we got to have the AD as well. So we'll come back right after this. You're watching the semifinals of the City Alliance right here on IndianaSRN.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Back live at the City Alliance semifinals at Tech High School. It's Keith Myers, it's Kevin Lewis, and we just found him in a concession stand. Dude has eaten enough popcorn. It's F. Buford, the AD. How much popcorn have you ate today?
I think 4 bags thus far. 4 bags.
And I noticed in the hospitality room, everybody's got a sign except me and Kevin. Our chairs are empty. I don't understand.
That's because I was in there as well, eating up all the food there.
In all seriousness, first year here. First year here. Talk a little bit about the transition. And, you know, last year we didn't have these speakers this loud. Kevin and I could talk, and the speakers wasn't even bothering us. Today, the speakers are kind of loud, Coach.
You know, it's funny. The speakers were one of our first jobs to do once I took the job. So I'm very excited that it's working well for us. But the transition was great. The people over here have been very supportive of us. We have an outstanding principal who supports and kind of guides some things that we need some support on. So we have a lot of things going well for us. We got a brand new stadium coming in football. Just got our floor redone in basketball. I'm excited about the future of Tech.
And the Alumni Association has to help you greatly, Coach. And I know they love you, and they have to be a big part of that because with them, they motivate people to get some things done here.
What better way to learn than from people who've already done it, right? So I lean heavily on our Alumni Association. President Matthews has been excellent as far as giving us what she needs in a timely manner. So we love working with the Alumni Association as well.
2XL is my sweatshirt size, just want to let you know. Talk a little bit about, you worked with Scotty Hicks, and me and Kevin know Scotty a little bit differently. Scotty played in this thing. How was that transition? Because Scotty must have had a hard time letting you go, because I know you did all the work.
You know, Coach Hicks is an outstanding man, right? So he's a legend in the city tournament, yes, both as a player and as a coach. If I remember correctly, Coach Hicks has somewhere of 15 or 16 city tournament championships as a player and as a coach. So to lead or to learn from Coach Hicks is one of my biggest he's one of my biggest supports in athletics.
You know, great pride for Coach Scotty Hicks. He was Scotty's assistant. Now he's the assistant for Kenny Rosman. You know, that whole entire family, and we're part of that group that we always make each other laugh because we know how goofy we can be off camera and on camera.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Coach Hicks will be here tonight. His team has advanced over to the semifinals, so they will play against Crystal's Addicts. I'm excited about that game.
Talk a little bit about the atmosphere the other night. Went in overtime. You kept on texting me. He goes, we're going to get it done. Washington, the Final Four is really pretty cool.
Yeah, pandemonium. Man, the place was excited, and we lost by 3, but I think that was a really good game. Coach Turner did a really good job of coaching up our guys. We had some mistakes, but I think Coach Turner and the boys are ready to rock and roll moving forward.
Kevin's got a couple of questions for you. I'm all out other than I need my popcorn later.
I'm headed back to the concession stand immediately.
Which means he's not going to give me my popcorn. Kevin, go ahead.
So, Coach, as I say, congratulations on your new endeavors here and everything. And as I mentioned earlier, talking about Tech High School here, I mean, me playing basketball on this, I would love the opportunity here because those players around the state, they say they come to Tech and play. This is, as I've always said, one of the best shooting environments, one of the best places to play basketball for anybody. So thank you. It's great that Tech is hosting this. Talking about hosting, how does Tech always get to host it every year? Because teams don't revolve around, everything comes back here to Tech. How's Tech holding on to that?
You know, the nostalgia is here. All right, so what better venue to play a high school boys basketball game in than Arsenal Tech? We have end zone seating, we have floor seating, and we can seat roughly 4,500 people in our gym. Our gym is a tad bit historic, but I think that's what puts value in our venue.
Well, I tell you what, we was sitting here earlier kind of waiting. I looked at the walls and kind of you talked about nostalgia. There's a lot of legends that come out of this building in here. And the thing about it is, I think we might try to reach out and expose some of those legends around here for an opportunity for Tech to do that and from other schools when we do the city tournament. Just a suggestion, brag about what you've done.
When you speak of a legend, Arsenal Tech will have another legend by the name of Latrice McMichael Crawford. She's the head girls basketball coach at Purdue Polytech, but she's going into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame 25th anniversary this year. So we're going to honor Coach, but she's one of the many Arsenal Tech players who are legend, not only at Tech, but in the state.
As we wrap it up, because we got one more guest before we go. Coach, here's some things for you. The city tournament began in 1930 until 1942. I know you guys wasn't even thought of then. In 1948, they restarted it. In 1954, they made a consecutive, this is 71 years, thanks to Mike Ford and your fine staff to help me with that. 71 years continue. I hope you can do another 71. I know we won't be here, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I definitely have to give a shout out to our staff. Coach Turner, Miss Keller, and Miss Shelton. They put this tournament on. So I definitely have to congratulate them on the outstanding job that they've done and looking forward to the championship Monday night.
You're more than welcome to join us tonight, but I know you'll be running around doing a lot of things. We'll take a break. When we come back, Coach Turner will be with us. We'll be back right after this.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
I get her, not solo.
You see what I did?
Yeah, come on.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game, thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Back at the city tournament as they cleared the floor, Kevin, and
be swept.
They told us to get off the floor, so we're a little bit down the baseline. 20 minutes before tip-off, as we're in our last couple of segments, we talked about the atmosphere. Game number 1, Heritage Christian, Indianapolis Cathedral. Game number 2, Indianapolis, Washington, Indianapolis Tech. You look at the Indianapolis schools in this, the prestige of this tournament and the history. We got a coach who's doing it color for us tonight, who's won this thing. History, his daddy's on the wall. It's pretty cool to have the IndianaSRN crew here for the 16th year doing this, either on TV or radio. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's good, because we're talking about the legends coming through here. People here in Indiana are spoiled. We're all spoiled about all the people that are very good, but you know what? Here in Indianapolis, people ought to get out, get down here and see this, because we do have an opportunity to see some NBA futures, Division I, Division II, college future athletes, and actually more so than
standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Coach Turner with us. Coach, I know this is sad, but it's okay. Talk a little bit about the other night, and then let's talk about the 4 teams that are here. Your kids are playing really, really well.
Yeah, we turned the corner after we lost to Washington in the first outing. Then we went on the holiday tournament, played a very athletic Maryville team, Snyder team in East Chicago. Went 2-1 down there, got beat by East Chicago in the championship, and then went up to Fort Wayne. And surprisingly, I mean, that was the best game we played all season. Beat them. We were up 22, ended up beating them by 16, and that's a top 10 team in the state. So we're looking to turn a corner.
Everybody wants to see you, Coach, so look up there at the camera. I know your wife is watching it, so, you know, and you're going to sign autographs later. Talk a little bit about the history of this tournament. You've coached in this thing, and you've coached in the championship game of this thing, too. What's the coaches thinking about right now before the first semifinal?
Well, of course, everybody's nervous. Everybody, in the Final Four deserves to be here. They're top contenders in the state and in their class. So I know you're just thinking about time management, game management, your opponents, watching film, strategizing, what to do, what not to do, and, hopefully you come out on top.
Okay, Kevin Lewis has refereed a couple of these things. I'm going to put you on the spot. When you saw Kevin walk on the floor with the black and white stripes, you knew it's going to be a long night, didn't you?
I knew I had to be quiet and stay in my box. That's the only time I stayed in my box.
Kevin, go ahead.
You're coachable and teachable. That's great. You talk about as Keith asked you about your preparation for a game and all that. Just to share with you, I'm sure sometimes you just seriously, it's a serious question. You walk out and you see some officials out there. I'm sure that you probably prepare your kids on what type of officials you might have out there, what's going on, how to act, things like that. Is that ever a dialogue?
Most definitely. There's certain officials that'll let you do get away a couple of little extra things, and you know who those officials are. And then there's officials that they're not going to play with you. They're going to state the game, state the facts, and it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah. Talk about the keys tonight. What does Heritage Christian have to do to knock off Cathedral?
I think Heritage has to. I think Brady's going to get his. I think you have to contain everyone else. Cathedral's dribble drive is one of the best in the state. Heck, maybe even the country. That's where we struggled when we guarded them. It's just they just know it to a key. It's just a tradition for them. So I think if they can somehow stabilize that to a point, I think Heritage will have a good chance to compete and stay in the game.
And then game number 2, Coach, real important. Washington really has to start well, but can they maintain the pressure on Addicts? What do they have to do to finish strong?
I think Washington has to take care of the basketball. I think if they can take care of the basketball, make it a half-court game, not get up and down, slow the game down, I think they can compete and stay in the game with Addicts. But if it becomes up and down, it probably won't be a game.
Okay, off camera, you said IndianaSRN is the best coverage in the state of Indiana. Do you want to say that on air now?
Of course, IndianaSRN. That's where it's at.
There you go. I'll give you a quarter later. I think we're going to wrap things up. Nope. We're going to be back right after this.
Thank you.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Kevin, thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk a little bit. Kevin Lewis has been with us through our pregame show, semifinal number 1, Heritage Christian and Addicts coming up around 8:05 tonight. Addicts taking on George Washington. We have a new wrinkle, so to speak. It's the second year I saw that we have a female official doing the semifinals. You got to love that.
You got to love it, yes. Hey, you know what? This is America, equal opportunity. And actually, I'm looking out there at Miss Ashley Crawford out there. I personally have worked with Ashley. She is probably one of the top, I will say this, top 50, top 60 officials in the country, in the state. And more important, she is one of the best. So she's not getting just because she's a female. She's a very good official doing this particular level of basketball. As also in the state, there are a lot of officials that are females that are very good at what they do. And we welcome all female officials.
And again, if you would want to be an official, contact the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Brian Lewis does a great job with that. Look him up on the website. As we look at the whole entire thing, Monday night, 8:05, right here on IndianaSRN, Troy and Coach Cox will be doing the game. Who are the two that they're going to see in the final, Kevin?
Oh, I'm supposed to make a prediction?
Yeah, there you go.
If I had to go out there and predict, I'd sit there and think, you know what? You're looking at going to be C Cathedral probably up against Addicts. And the thing about it is that's going to be a barn burner game if you're asking me to predict. But I will say this, we're going to have 2 great ball games here tonight, too.
Yeah, stay with us. We'll have coverage for you tonight, also on Monday night. Kevin, thank you very much. The atmosphere, you can tell that it's getting a little amped in a little bit. We want to thank Jerry Collins, who's put this thing together, Daniel Miller, Sticks, Coach, and Troy will have the play-by-play for you. We'll have some halftime guests for you as well, so stick around. If you have any questions about IndianaSRN or like to get involved with what we do, contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. We'll do anything. We'll do all kinds of sports. It's a neat little thing. Join us.
Yes, IndianaSRN, they do it all. As Coach Damon Turner said it earlier, they do it all.
As we wrap things up, we thank you very much for joining us. The boys will be joining you in about 2 minutes. The City Alliance semifinals are next on IndianaSRN.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Hello. I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, good. The City Alliance basketball tournament is down to its final four: Cathedral, Heritage Christian, Washington, and Attucks. And after tonight, it'll be the final two for the championship coming up on Monday. Our first of our doubleheader, it'll be Cathedral coming in at 12-1 on the season. They're the number 1 seed in this tournament. They'll be taking on Heritage Christian, the number 4 seed. They come in at 10-3. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Building better futures, one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374. We're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Troy Daragowski, Christoph Kendrick with you here tonight. Tell you what, it's been a tournament of upsets so far, and if there's two teams that want an upset tonight, one of them will be Heritage Christian, the other one will be Indianapolis, Washington. But as we know, in tournament time, Christoph, anything can happen.
Oh, there's no question about it. And that's what makes a city tournament so fun is, you know, you're playing against guys you grew up with, guys you know really well, teams you play throughout the season. And, you know, certainly a chance for the smaller schools like Heritage Christian and Washington to flex their muscle. And it also provides them an opportunity to really get better for their state tournament as well. So a lot of positives about this thing. Keith talked about it. Keith and Kevin were talking about it beforehand. Just the history of this tournament, all the great players, NBA guys, Division I guys. You'll see some of them out here tonight as well.
Let's talk about how Cathedral and Heritage got here. We'll talk about Heritage, number 4 seed in the tournament. They beat Heron in the opening round 71-22. They turned around and beat an upset-minded Cecina team, the number 12 seed, 59-43 in their 2 wins in this tournament. And they have a balanced attack. It's led by their 6'8 forward, Luke Peters, averaging 12 points per game. What do you see in Heritage coming into this one here tonight? They don't have the same type of athleticism that you'll see on the other side with Cathedral, but they want to keep this game, I would imagine, kind of in a low-scoring affair.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw them play Chittard. It was actually Chittard's season opener. We had that game. They did a very good job being patient on offense. They crashed the offensive glass. They kept the pace low, and that's what you have to do against Cathedral. Cathedral's second in the state, averaging 75 points a game. That number actually might be up even more now. They have very fast, quick guards. You can't get in a track meet with them. Keep the game in the half court.
Luke Peters averaging 12 points per game. Lincoln Taug is at 8 points. Cole Loudon at 9. And then, of course, DJ Green at 8.5. And really, if you look at those two players, and let's talk about Taug and Green, they're probably the 2 most athletic players that Heritage Christian will have. A little more pressure on those two to defend, because you heard a little bit earlier when the tech coach was talking about what Cathedral can do when it comes to the dribble drive to the basket. That's going to be tough to contain.
Absolutely, and Taug has some good size to him too to go along with being athletic. He can cover some ground. So yeah, keep the ball in front. The Irish are a really good three-point shooting team, but you want them shooting contested threes, not getting in the lane, drawing help so they can kick out and shoot wide open ones, or even worse, get layups. So for Heritage Christian, defensively, like you said, keep your man in front, keep the game slowed down, get the ball to Peters inside, see if you can't get Kohler some foul trouble.
One other key might be a concern a little bit for Heritage Christian. They only shoot 44% as a team, and you're really going to have to be on your game tonight against this, what I would consider one of the best in the state in Cathedral.
No, Troy, that's a great point. I mean, again, this is a Cathedral team. I told Coach Lenny before the game I was so impressed. I hadn't had a chance to see them. In the past, they've had guys that were maybe a little bit bigger, stronger to go along with being athletic. But these kids he's got this year, they are smaller, but man, are they quick and fast. It reminds me of the team I coached my last year coaching high school basketball, and those teams can be very dangerous when you can use your athleticism on both ends of the floor so well.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk more about the Fighting Irish of Cathedral, the number 1 seed in this tournament. It's coming up next right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Tech High School, getting ready for the first semifinal matchup, Cathedral and Heritage Christian. Coach, we were talking a little bit about Cathedral and what they can do offensively. As you said, they're averaging well over 70 points per game coming in. Brady Kaler, a guy that can stretch the defense, shoots from the outside, and Keaton Aldridge are just 2 of their guys in a very balanced attack. What do you see in this Fighting Irish team?
Well, then you got LeBron Go out there as well. The Singleton kid had a great game the other day. The Candidate kid can really shoot it. He's quick. He can make shots. They got a very high IQ, basketball IQ about him. And with Keaton Aldridge actually being out tonight, he's not dressed. He suffered an injury a week ago at Providence. These guys have stepped up. They played Guerin, took a loss there. But then they played Crystal House the other day in the city quarterfinal, and Kennedy had a great game. The rest of the team stepped up, and they're going to need that again tonight to get past Heritage, and then certainly if they can do that against the Addicts Washington winning the championship.
So how much of a factor? Again, you mentioned Aldridge not playing here tonight. He's a 15-7 guy. That loses quite a bit on your offensive side.
Absolutely, and Aldridge is a big, strong, physical, athletic kid who can play guard and forward. He rebounds it, he defends, he mixes it up, he does a little bit of everything. So what he brings a lot of intangibles, and what the stuff he can do is not just showing up in the box score. So Cathedral just has to find a way, and they are deep enough to do it, where they have to have other guys get rebounds, defend, make the hustle plays.
Yeah, you mentioned LeBron Go at 10 points per game, Derek Kennedy at 9 points per game, Aiden Hughes at 7, and Sheldon Gatlin at 8. I would love to have those guys coming off my bench or getting a chance to get in the starting lineup.
Oh, Troy, there's no doubt. When I watched them play tonight, Fishers is probably the best team I've seen, but Cathedral and Lawrence North are right there at number 2. And the depth that I saw of Cathedral is only something I think Fishers can match. These guys, Coach Delaney can go 8 or 9 deep on his bench and not miss a beat. So I think you're going to see that on full display tonight.
And they shoot extremely well. When you look at their numbers, I mean, there are very few teams at any level that are shooting 53% as a team. That's crazy.
Well, and I think that goes back to what we were talking about before the game. Don't let Cathedral get in the paint, because like I was Candidate and Go, when they get in the paint, they're not necessarily looking to they're not necessarily looking to get a layup. Those guys spot up, everyone rotates to the right spot, they'll throw it out to them so they get wide open looks.
And by the way, from a rebounding standpoint, you think, well, they average about 31 rebounds per game. When you shoot that well, you're not going to get as many rebounds, right?
That's right. No, that's a great point. So I think it'll be a great challenge for Heritage Christian tonight, as well as Cathedral. You know, a lot of these kids, the first time playing varsity in this setting. And so, I think when you go to Cathedral, you expect to play in these type of games. And for Heritage Christian, this is a great challenge to play against a team like Cathedral, and it's going to be fun.
One other aspect that you look at, and I'm a big turnover guy. If you don't turn the basketball over, you're probably going to win a lot of basketball games, though we've seen some exceptions to that this year. But you think the way the Cathedral gets up and down the floor, still only 13 turnovers per game.
Yeah, and that's just a sign of good. Troy, that's a great point. That's a sign of great guard play. That's a sign of a team being really together and having good chemistry and being well coached. And I think Cathedral can check all those boxes.
By the way, Cathedral, the number 1 seed, they got the bye. They beat Crystal House in the second round, 82-43. So they really didn't have to sweat too much in that second round contest. But they're kind of used to that being the number 1 or number 2 seed. So they kind of know what it takes to get that bye and then come into the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. You get that extra practice. You get that Tuesday off while 8 other teams are playing. And so you can use that to adjust and tinker some stuff. And your other assistant coaches can go down and get some advanced scouting in too. So I'm sure, Coach Delaney, he's coaching these city tourneys for, 10, 15 years now. He knows how to, certainly use that bye to his advantage.
We're going to get Coach's keys to the game in this one. Don't forget, after this contest, we'll have the Washington and Attucks game. It's probably not going to be an 8 o'clock start time. I'll be kind of surprised if it is. We got a little bit of a late start because of the length of the junior varsity game that was played right before this one. So we're about 20 minutes behind the regularly scheduled time of our first game against Cathedral and Heritage. So far, you're looking at Cathedral 12 wins on the season, Heritage Christian at 10 wins. We just did the Heritage Christian Cecina game, and they won that one again relatively easily over Cecina, who upset Chittard, the number 5 seed, in the first round. And we mentioned this has already been a tournament that has seen plenty of upsets. We'll talk about those as we go throughout the night, but we're kind of looking at this one as 2 teams that are probably the heavy favorites would be Cathedral and Crispus Attucks, who played in the championship game last year as well. And again, that second game, Washington will be at 8 and 6. They're the number 11 seed. And Attucks, they're the number 2 seed. They come in at 11 and 3 on the season. We'll take a timeout. The tip-off starting lineups next on IndianaSRN. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back here at Tech High School, it's Cathedral again at 12 and 1. Heritage coming into this one at 10 and 3. We'll follow this up with the Washington and Attucks game right after this one. Coach, let's go ahead and get keys to this one. What do you think for both these teams?
Well, first for Heritage Christian, just come out and defend Cathedral. Defend them, keep them in the half court. Don't let them get breaks. When you're on offense and you shoot, you got to send 3 guys back right away. You can't allow them. You can't be crashing the offensive glass and allow them to get runouts. And what that does, you want to be in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter in striking distance. Give yourself a chance because anything can happen. For Cathedral, put pressure on Heritage Christian, whether it's with a run and jump press, whether it's with your pressure defense, whether it's with your depth. Put pressure on them. Try to put doubt in their mind real quick that there's a reason you're the favorite, and get out to a quick lead and see if you can put it on cruise control.
Heritage Christian being introduced, and again, they will be the visiting team tonight since they are the number 4 seed. Also, we'll give you the starters here. Loudon, Teague, along with Peters, Green, and the last starter will be Landon Schnippel. And then Cathedral will be introduced here in just a moment as well. Other than Aldridge, we'll kind of have to see what adjustments will be made in their lineup here tonight. We mentioned Aldridge averaging 15 points and 7 rebounds per game. Sheldon Gatlin, number 31, will get the start. Brady Kaler will now be introduced as well. You know Kaler because of the pink shoes. I know you used to like to wear those kind of shoes.
Yeah, that's right, Troy. That's right.
Derek Kennedy will get the start tonight as well. Aiden Hughes also in the starting lineup. And the last player, it will be LeBron Goff, who will step in. So we're ready to go in this one here tonight.
Yep, and you can see already Micah Shrewsbury in the crowd here coming down from South Bend to watch his alma mater play, but Brady Kohler from the Irish already has a Notre Dame offer. Just got that, I believe, last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
okay.
This is a good chance for Coach Shrewsbury to take his off day and come see them play.
No kidding. Well, there you see the final meeting for the Fighting Irish. Kaler, along with Goff, along with Kennedy, Hughes and Gatlin, Loudon, Teague, along with Peters, Green, and Schnippel. We mentioned a little bit late on the start. We're almost 30 minutes late on the start of this one here this evening, so our second game is probably going to be closer to 8:30 or so before we tip that one off. Peters in the middle against Kaler. Again, Heritage in the traveling uniforms tonight. And the number 1 seed, Fighting Irish, in their home whites, and it will be Heritage basketball. Cole Loudon has done a nice job this year, averaging 9 points per game for Heritage.
Yeah, Heritage Christian's a good team, Troy. We had talked about how they had lost Miles Colvin last year, who's now a freshman at Purdue. And when you lose kids of that caliber, especially at a small school, it's hard to replace. I think Heritage has done a very fine job this year as you see them score on that pick and roll. And that type of patience right there is what's going to do them well tonight.
Peters at 6'8" inside, gets the first bucket of the night. Foul be called on Sheldon Gatlin, his first. When you like the patience you saw of Heritage, one thing they want to do, you said it earlier, run that offense and really just kind of do it at your pace.
Absolutely. Make Cathedral guard you and play at your pace so, it puts pressure on Cathedral. They know they're the favorite. They don't want to be in a close game.
Gatlin for 3, missed everything. Here's McGee off the rebound. He'll try to take it coast to coast, feeds it off to Peters. His jumper is missed, and the rebound, Kaler. So we just said that, and then they go down and shoot a one and done, right?
Yeah.
Kaler on the drive with the left hand off the glass, good.
And that wasn't even really in transition. That was, Kaler got it, brought up the floor, but she's a 6'8" kid who can handle it and dribble it, and he just goes down and scores. That's where you want Cathedral to have to, take time off the clock by moving the ball around.
Drive to the baseline. Kaler cutting off the drive. 3 on the way is going to be missed as McGee can't get it to go, and Peters comes away with it. He'll drive baseline, take that back. That's going to be Schnippel on the rebound and the drive, and a foul called against 31. They're going to get Gatlin. He has 2 quick fouls. Anthony Fields will come in.
Yeah, and already you took the words out of my mouth there, Troy. Anthony Fields checking in. Gatlin gets a second foul. And Fields, who had a great game the other night, very capable player, is coming in right now.
Drive down the lane. Left-hand scoop shot missed by Loudon. And here come the Fighting Irish. And by the way, Kaler, you'll see him handle the basketball quite a bit on the outside. Shoots the 3 and missed it. Rebound by Canadian. They'll get it back once again. Here's Fields. Tied at 2 here early. That jumper rims in and out as LeBron Goff can't get it to go. Canadian at the guard against Landon Schnippel. Schnippel down the lane, feeds it off, and we've got an offensive foul called against Landon.
Great job by Aiden Hughes stepping up to help his teammate there. Just rotates over, steps in front to take the charge.
So Cathedral basketball. Drop on the drive, nothing there. We'll kick it out to Kaler. The high screen set there for Kennedy, nothing available. And that'll be Anthony Fields. Once again, Kaler, and Kaler throws it out of bounds. That'll be their first turnover of the night.
Nice job by Heritage Christian there, guarding that action, forcing that turnover right there. Cathedral needs to be a little bit more crisp. They need to have a little bit better energy on both ends. I think that'll come.
So back to Heritage. That'll be Josh McGee, averaging just under 6 points per game. Nice strong drive, blocked by Kaler. DJ Green unable to get it to go. Quickly back the other way, and the shot's going to be missed by Kennedy. And once again, Cathedral able to get the offensive rebound. Here's a little floater on the way, and good by Aiden Hughes. Averages 7 per game.
Big, strong football kid, can really mix things up. Outstanding role player for Cathedral.
4-2. Fighting Irish with the lead. Been a while now since Heritage has scored. The bucket by Peters, their only basket so far. The drive in the lane, the kick out, turnover. Number 1 now for Heritage. Kennedy back the other way. The drive, right hand, good. Tough shot there by Anthony Fields.
And that's what cannot happen. A turnover leads to a layup. You see how fast Cathedral moves the ball down the floor and how well they share it with each other in those transition situations. That's too easy. Cathedral's going to thrive off that.
And that'll be a 5-second call and a turnover. Good defense there by Cathedral. Second turnover now by Heritage Christian.
Well, Derek Canada has came in, and he's been a ball hawk ever since this game started. It paid off right there.
Timeout on the floor, 6-2.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Indianapolis Tech, you can unleash the power of passion in sports on IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. Contact us at sales@IndianaSRN.org to discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that will maximize your brand and exposure. IndianaSRN, Central Indiana's sports leader. Okay, we have now seen Heritage. Couple of turnovers, got their early basket, but now the offense just doesn't seem to be clicking over the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, and Cathedral's ramped it up on them a little bit, and they've got some good looks too. They just got to knock those in. And,
well, Kaler will do it.
Yeah, I mean, he comes off a pin down like that right there, curls off of it. That's going to be a little bit too easy for a shooter of his caliber. They're going to have to switch that and talk and get through that better.
Biggest lead so far at 6. Nice shot fake, kissing off the glass, and good is DJ Green for his first 2.
Nice move by him, going up, getting his man off his feet, then went up and finished.
Kaler driving baseline over Peters. Got a piece of that one, or got a piece of Kaler. He went hard to the floor.
Holding his eye there, too.
Yeah, he was. Here's Loudon for 3. Shot the air ball, and the rebound pulled down by Anthony Fields. Irish back the other way. Good look here near side to Hughes. Hughes will feed off now to LeBron Goffel, driving the lane. Peters blocking that one. We had a game earlier this year with Heritage. Peters ended up with 5 blocked shots in that game.
He's a long kid. He's got a good knack for the basketball. He knows how to block shots, and that is a skill. That's not something you're just born with. That's a skill that takes time to own. So he's certainly a kid that's capable there. You see, kind of just hanging out in the middle.
Fields with the basketball on the drive, the spin, and he will be fouling his way to the basket and go to the line for 2.
Again, Fields is a stronger kid, has good upper body strength, was able to get in there, spin back, and draw a foul going up for 2. I didn't even talk about Cathedral's ability to get you in foul trouble when they get downhill, but it was all about keeping guys out of the paint. because they kick out, they score, and now they draw fouls. Can't have that. Key number one, keep them out of the paint.
By the way, that foul called on Landon Schnippel, that will be his second, so Lincoln Teague will come in. Second free throw way short. By the way, Lincoln Teague is probably their best athlete, left-handed shooter, averaging 8 points per game. On the drive, good look at Josh McGee. Heritage down by 5 in this first semifinal matchup. Nice spin and able to finish is DJ Green. And then he gets the takeaway and missed the shot.
Good for DJ Green. He's making things happen.
Fighting Irish quickly back the other way. Good ball movement. Here's Kaler in the corner. Got for 3. Missed it long. And the rebound by Teague.
Good job by Heritage Christian there. Oh.
Bad pass, turnover, and a layup at the other end by LeBron Goff.
As soon as I say that, Heritage Christian did a good job closing out and moving on those ball rotations by Cathedral. Made Go take that contested 3, but weren't able to capitalize.
That 3 is going to be missed from the top of the key by McGee, and we've got a rebounding foul against Heritage.
See, look at the replay here of Go, steal, and layup. Again, Cathedral just really, thrives and excels in that up and down type of game.
We're still waiting to get the official word. I think that was on Cole Loudon, and it was. So that'll be Cole's first. Third team foul again in high school basketball. You get to 5, you shoot 2, and then everything resets in the next quarter. Heritage playing a little more 2-on-2 zone here now.
Yeah, good call. I like it from Heritage. It confused the Cathedral and led to a travel. Nice call there by Troy, but even better call by Heritage Christian. Coach Granger there putting in the zone.
When I played, I can only play a zone.
Me too.
Not fast enough to go man-to-man. Anthony Fields called on that last travel. So far, this defense has really been bothering Heritage Christian. Here is the 3 on the way, no good by Teague, and we'll head the other way. This is Anthony Fields with a basketball, and they turn it over again. That's number 4.
Well, and again, Heritage Christian showing some different looks defensively. Is causing Cathedral a little bit of issues here the last 2 possessions. Now they'll get it worked out, but certainly something you can put in your back pocket as Heritage is let's keep changing things up, keep them off balance.
How much so far do you think that they're missing Aldridge?
Not much so far.
No?
Not much so far. Now, obviously, you want to have him on the court, but it hasn't affected the score yet.
Another turnover. Peters will get the block, but I think they're going to say he also got a piece of the arm. Peters thought he had a clean one. They're going to say he actually got him on side of the head, and so we're going to go to the line for 2. So Peters picks up his first. He has been able to play, though, most of the games we have had, not getting into foul trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there you see, the depth of Cathedral. Cash Daniels here as a freshman comes in, gets a steal immediately. He's a JV player that has to play up because of Cathedral's injuries, and he's making an impact in the varsity game.
Well, that must be a nice luxury to have. You can bring a freshman in and fill those shoes.
That's exactly right.
9-point lead now for the Fighting Irish. Teague with the basketball. He's a left-handed shooter. Shot against the grain, missed it. Here come the Fighting Irish in transition the other way. Basket good. And a foul. Anthony Fields will go to the line for 1.
And again, Togg goes in, forces up a tough shot right there. Cathedral gets it, boom, and they're out. No question, no hesitation about it. I know I probably already sound like a broken record 7 minutes into this game. But when you take bad shots, you turn the basketball over, Cathedral is going to make you pay. You've got to get back. You've got to stay in front and corral them.
Isn't it amazing as you see the free throw made by Fields, how quickly they turned this into a 12-point lead?
And that's when you have explosive teams that can really put up numbers for it. That can happen to you.
Yeah.
And Heritage has actually had some good looks tonight, too.
Yeah.
They haven't made them early, and they're in a little bit of a danger zone here. So, here at the end of the first quarter, if they get this thing to 9-8 points, I think they can feel good about themselves.
Under 90 seconds remaining. Here's Josh McGee. Peters, by the way, got the 2 points early, has really not even shot much here in the last few minutes. In the lineup now is Leighton Dolvin. Dolvin averaging 1.9 points per game. Peters on the drive, and a foul call. I believe they're going to get traveling. It's going to be a travel instead, so that'll be their 4th turnover.
Cathedral's pressure is really pushing Heritage out, struggling so they can't run an offense.
Kaler on the drive, got it blocked inside. I think it was Dolvin who got a piece of it. Back the other way, Heritage basketball.
Nice job to block a bigger guy on that situation right there in the help side.
Here's Peters, quick jumper missed. Kaler had it for the moment, falls into the hand of Daniels. Lead pass and back the other way, and another foul call. They may get Lincoln on that foul. He doesn't like the call. Lincoln Taub picking up his first.
I think he got him on the way up there as we take a look at the replay here. Yeah, I think maybe they said his right hand hit him right in the stomach there as he went up.
How about Anthony Fields having, of course, he makes that one. He's having a heck of a first quarter, isn't he?
Yeah, and we talked about that. Singleton gets that second foul quick. Here comes Fields in the game, and he brings all kinds of energy. He's able to score, get some steals on this end, rebound, and change the game a little bit for the Irish early.
So Fields back in for one more. Coach Shrewsbury, isn't he sitting over there just by himself? I mean, we get him over, come over here.
Yeah. Have him come over here, but maybe see if we can do an interview with him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Second free throw good by Fields. I have a feeling they can't talk about recruits, can they, at this stage?
That'd be a big NCAA recruit.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. 17-4. Now Cathedral with a big lead. Nice crossover by Loudon, and he turns it over. Number 5 now in Heritage. Here come the Fighting Irish back the other way. Take your pick on this one. You had 3 different Heritage players in there on the block as Alberin Johnson in the lineup.
Well, I really like what Cathedral's doing. Their ball pressure and the way they're pressuring Heritage Christian, even when the Eagles are able to get by, their help side is coming, and the players are so quick and fast. They use their active hands, and Heritage Christian can't find a good angle to pass, and it's leading into results like this.
As the 3rd missed free throw now by Cathedral in this opening quarter. So they'll get one more. Alberin Johnson, another player coming off the bench for this Cathedral team and already paying dividends in a 14-point lead. And now the press. Dolvin. If I were Dolvin, I want to get rid of that ball as quickly as I can, and I think we're going to have to burn a timeout. Heritage says they got to wait and talk this one over. 18-4 Cathedral. Want to remind you, tonight's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Coach, you said something a little bit ago that you don't want to let this thing get out of hand right now. But you're down by 14 here in the opening quarter of play. This thing could get really dangerous quickly.
Oh, absolutely. And the way the game's going, if you're Heritage Christian, you got to find a way to put the ball in the basket. Let's see what they do here with 20 seconds left to get the last shot.
They've already burned 2 timeouts here in the first quarter alone. DJ Green guarded against Anthony Fields. Nice passing out to Peters. Peters drew a double team and a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Johnson on the reach. That is only the 3rd or 4th team foul on Cathedral.
Well, and I was going to say that was a bad foul by Johnson, but it may have stopped Heritage Christian from even getting a field goal attempt up. So as there's 0.5 on the clock, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you're going to have to throw this one up around the rim if you're going to get something and tip it in quickly. And Peters got it off in time, but that's going to do it after 1. Cathedral on top, 18-4.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, We can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back once again here at Indianapolis Tech in our opening game of the night. Second game, Washington and Addicts. Don't forget tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer traditional food like Grandma used to make. They have a great staff and even better food. Check them out Wednesday through Sunday or give them a call for more information at 317-760-1640. Big quarter here for Heritage, right?
Absolutely, as you see them come out in the zone here. 18 points, yeah, that's a lot to give up, but only 4 isn't going to be good enough, obviously. But I think Heritage has got to find a way to get some points on the board just for their own confidence here.
What great ball movement right there, and wide open 3 here on the near side by Anthony Fields.
Troy, you said it, ball movement was outstanding there. I think Cathedral, during the quarter break was expecting zone. They drew something up for it, and it worked.
Boy, I tell you what, you shoot like that, and there's another turnover and a steal and a layup at the other end by LeBron Goff. He now has 4. That's 6 turnovers now for Heritage. You shoot like that against the zone, you're not going to stay in it very long, are you?
No, you're not. And we'll see what happens next half-court possession. But right now, Heritage just has to worry about getting a good look at the basket.
3's going to be missed by DJ Green, and here they come again. Cathedral wasting no time. That's going to be blocked out of bounds, and then LeBron Goff was on the floor when the ball hit him, so the possession will go back to Heritage.
No doubt. I got to give Heritage Christian some credit here. They've been blocking shots and challenging shots at the rim all night in these transition settings. This could be a lot worse if it wasn't for their athleticism and ability to, deter some of these Irish shots.
It is now a 19-point lead here in the second quarter. This is McGee's been held in check so far. Strong drive, right-hand floater missed, rebound Kaler, and here come the Fighting Irish. Boy, they are really, truly a team that passes well, defends well. Look at that. Wide open is Kaler. He missed it. What I was impressed most in the, not that possession, but the last possession, is how they passed against the zone.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Troy. They really did. I don't think the ball touched the floor one time. It was boom, boom, boom.
DJ Green gets the 3. Fighting Irish back once again. It's more of what would you call this, a 3-2 defense here, or what's it looking like to you, 2-3?
It was a 3-2, Troy, you're right. It looks like it dropped to a 2-3, but those wings certainly are coming up high. Cathedral really does not have a true 5-man presence. They're very perimeter-oriented, so they can extend this thing, I think is what they're thinking.
6 turnovers now by Cathedral. Each team now with 6. Well, what is impressive even more about Cathedral, you're doing this without Aldridge in the lineup. And tell you what, you just got to think that this is going to be one of the teams to deal with when that state tournament rolls around. They're going to be right there.
And obviously, we could get a preview of what that sectional title game could look like. No discredit to North Central or Lawrence North, but Ags and Cathedral are right there at the top in the Sagarin ratings, and we'll see that potentially on Monday night.
Heritage with the basketball. Here's Green. Spins in the lane. Layup good. Nice job by DJ Green, who has 7.
DJ Green's done a good job tonight getting downhill and getting shots at the basket. He's a nice player. Got good athleticism, making good moves. He's got to keep this up for them.
Good ball movement again by the Fighting Irish. Here's Kaler. Kaler, left-hand shot, short. Rebound, and nice hustle down on the baseline by Goff, but he steps out of bounds. That'll be the 7th turnover.
Heritage Christian failed to box out there, but it made it a tough angle for Goff after he got it. I like what I'm seeing out of the Eagles right now. They're not giving up. They come back through a counter punch, and let's see if they can keep digging into this a little bit.
Kennedy is back in. Derek Kennedy wearing number 4. Again for the Fighting Irish. Also back in Aiden Hughes. who again got the start tonight. Peters. Good ball movement again by Heritage, and then they turn it over. That'll be their 7th.
I think Kennedy was involved in that play. I think he deflected it a little bit. He's a ball hawk, man. Whenever he's in the game, he makes things happen.
Kennedy missed it. Taug with a rebound, and here they come. Eagles lose the basketball. That'll be their 8th turnover, and then easily dunking at the other end is Albert Johnson.
And Taug looked a little frustrated on that. He kind of dribbled in. He had 3 Irish around him. Instead of getting rid of it, he got stripped there. He's got to be able to get rid of that ball quicker.
This is McGee with the left hand, no. High for the rebound was Anthony Fields, and we got a foul in the backcourt. Looks like they will get Josh McGee.
Josh McGee is second.
Number 2 on McGee. Boy, it seems like you might start to make a little bit of a run against Cathedral, and then they just take off and get you for a couple more.
Yeah.
It's got to be the shoes, right? I mean, look at all the...
Got to be the shoes, yeah.
Look at those.
They got a good variety, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Strong drive. How about that with the right hand, LeBron Goff. He has 6.
Nice finish on that, too. Saw the crease in the lane and just took off.
Well, Anthony Fields coming off the bench has been a huge key for Cathedral in this first half of play. Boy, and how about this defense right there? Nobody's open. Here's the other thing, Coach. Nobody's moving to the basketball.
No, not at all. I think everyone's kind of waiting.
McGee hits the 3. We've got a timeout on the floor. It'll be a 30-second timeout on this one. Want to remind you tonight's game is brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. They provide help, hope, and healing to people in need. If you need more information or you'd like to volunteer, give them a call at 317-686-6239. 15-point lead, not insurmountable, but for the last few minutes here, now you got to find a way. Like you said a little bit ago, 4 points won't get the job done after 1. You're really going to find more offense here pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think defensively they switch to that zone. You know, you're going to give up a 3 here and there, but like LeBron goes, drive straight to the basket. The purpose of the zone is to stop that. You can't let those type of plays happen. Offensively, keep trying to get in the paint like they did in that last one and kick out. Use Cathedral's aggression against them.
So it'll be Fighting Irish basketball. One thing is kind of, you know, a couple of numbers we'll mention that early is the turnovers. Each team 8 now for Heritage, 7 for the Fighting Irish. The floater in the lane missed by Hughes, and it'll be Heritage basketball. Schnippel back in the ball game. He'll handle the rock out front. Hands off now to DJ Green. The kick out. Here's Taug for 3. Got it. And that's what he can do.
Absolutely. And good job by Heritage Christian. That's back-to-back plays, driving, drawing defenders, and then kick it out for a 3.
Back the other way. The miss by Fields. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by Heritage. Back in the lineup will be Brady Taylor. Taylor spent quite a bit of time over there talking to the coaching staff, especially the head coach there for a while after he'd missed a shot. But the Fighting Irish still holding on to a 12-point lead. This zone causing some issues. There's the 8th turnover, and then Taug nearly lost it out of bounds. Here's McGee. His shot, no, and ripping down that rebound is Fields. Fields, no-look pass inside. There's turnover number 9. Back the other way. Strong drive. Basket's going to be missed. Peters put back, no. Off the miss by DJ Green.
And Heritage Christians figured things out a little bit. They've settled down. They would get back in this, and they're playing with, a lot less, I don't know if fear is the right word, but they're playing with a lot more aggression and confidence.
Taug in the corner, another one.
Again, getting downhill, getting a defender to help uphill, throwing out for a wide open 3. Outstanding job by Heritage Christian on offense, and their crowd's got some life to it now, Troy.
Down by 9. Turnaround shot on the way. Kaler no good. Rebounded by Hughes. Hughes splits 2 defenders. Missed it. So now a chance to cut further into that deficit. Here's DJ Green. Stops, pops, and hits it.
DJ Green's been very good tonight. What a confident move right there. What a good move that was. And then confidence to step up and knock that pull-up jumper down. All of a sudden, we got a 7-point game, Troy.
Wow. Never would have thought this. Strong drive. Peters might have got a piece of it. The rebound off the miss, put back good by Hughes.
One thing I think we've seen so far against this zone, another weakness in that, in any zone, is you can give up offensive rebounds because you're not set to someone to block out. Cathedral's done a good job exposing that, and they got 2 more points off it.
Well, that's going to be an offensive foul called against Peters. His second.
His second, team second of the quarter.
Peters saying, hey, there's no way that happened.
And he's obviously a kid. You don't want to have 3 fouls. Let's see if they take him out here. Yeah.
I think he might be a little shaken up, too. I think he might have caught one south of the border because he was bent over there for a little bit. Still a 9-point lead, under 44 seconds to go. Kennedy running at the top against this zone defense. Good look at Hughes. Hughes, the kick out. 3-pointer from the top by Kennedy is good. Derek Kennedy gets his first basket of the night.
Really good ball movement by Cathedral there. No panic at all. Able to, see a double team in the post on Hughes, throw it right out. 3 points.
This is Dolvin and a foul call from behind. And they will get LeBron Goff on the foul. That'll be his first.
His first, team first in the quarter.
Back in the lineup, Cole Loudon. Peters will come back in as well. They'll get some offense in the lineup. 13.3 to go.
If you're Heritage here, you want to hold for one shot, see if you can't take this thing to 10 or 9 going into the second half. And it's been a tremendous second quarter to get yourself back in the game.
They had 4 at the end of 1. They've scored 16 here in the second quarter. 3 seconds to go. Peters. Schnipple driving on the baseline. A lot of contact. Do we have a whistle here? And I believe we will. And we're going to go to the line for 2.
Great job by Heritage. They made sure they for sure got the last shot as that one went up with probably less than 1 second left. Nice aggressive take. A little bit late on the rotation. Led to a block and 2 shots.
Aiden Hughes will pick up the foul. That is his first. Landon Schnipple at the line with no time currently on the clock. 0.3 of a second now they put on there. One of the officials at the scorer's table to make sure they got it on there at 0.3. Well, you get these 2 free throws, you're to within 10 in a game that looked like at one point it was really going to be out of hand. Landon averaging 5.8 points per game in for number 2. Keith Myers will be joining us at halftime with a special guest, so stay tuned for that. Second free throw is up and good. And the quick inbound, and that will do it for period number 2. But, Coach, I'll tell you what, give Heritage credit for coming back in that second quarter.
Oh, they absolutely did. They did not quit. I think really what happened was maybe it took them a quarter to adjust to the speed and the level Cathedral was playing at. And once those Heritage kids realized they could do the same, they calmed down, settled in, and were able to play their game.
Outscoring Cathedral 18-14 in that second quarter, thanks to DJ Green, who had 7 in the quarter. Lincoln Taug finished with 6 in that quarter. But again, you got to think they've also forced Cathedral into 9 turnovers, and that's a team that only averages 13 per game.
Yeah, that's an outstanding job by Heritage Christian. That's due to them mixing up defenses. That's due to Cathedral being a little bit careless with the basketball. And so I think that's something Coach Laney is going to talk about at halftime. But good job by Coach Granger of calming his troops down. Good job, strategizing with the mixing up of the defenses to force those turnovers and keep his team in this game.
All right, when we come back, Keith Myers at halftime. Right now, Cathedral leads it by 10.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
As at halftime, score, as you see on there, Cathedral leads 32-22. A game really that Heritage was out of, Brian, and all of a sudden Kevin made a nice little run.
Back into it. You know what? As we were conversing, talking to some of these legend coaches around here, we looked up and we missed the ball game. We got a great thing going on right now.
Robbie Phillips joins us. He coached at Arlington. Now, back in the day, in the AAU day, Keith Myers would go over to Arlington High School at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Robbie would have donuts for us. Got any donuts for me today?
Hey, you know what? I can always have a couple donuts for you, Keith. I don't keep them in my back pocket like I used to, but those were the days. And we appreciate you getting up early to help us raise some money for the program.
Talk a little bit about then and now. The game's changed a lot, but it's the same thing. You got to put the ball in the hole, and you need athletes to get that done.
Absolutely. As I'm looking at this game even tonight, I remember back in the day we ran probably more sets, but I feel like kids today are just a little more athletic. So there's more ball screens, pick and rolls, a little more geared toward college and NBA stuff from what I can tell from our day where we did more sets and it was a little more regimented in our offense.
No weight room. Had weight rooms, but not as intense as Kevin will speak. The weight room has made a big difference.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. The kids are bigger, stronger, and faster these days for sure. But it's fun watching them, though. I mean, they get up and down the court, and it's still a joy.
Old men can still play this game.
Some old men can. I know I can't, but some can. I'm much better on the sidelines just watching nowadays.
I'm really good playing video games with my granddaughters. I can still beat them in video game.
I'm not even sure if you can even do that now because they're pretty good at that too.
He's got a couple of questions for you.
Coach Robbie kind of taking the baton over here a little bit. You elaborate about how the kids are different back then, but now. But you know, you growing up and being an alumni. I love your sport. You're Heritage Christian. You were in a school where you probably played multiple sports, and kids these days, how is it with kids playing multiple sports? Are coaches wanting to do multiple sports, or are they trying to gear to one sport? What do you think? Is it good for them to do more than one sport, or what?
I think it's absolutely good for them to do multiple sports. In today's time, though, you can do multiple sports because you're using different muscles, Kevin. So even back then, we tried to always encourage our kids to do multiple sports, whether it be football, maybe cross country, maybe even track. But we were always trying to do multiple sports because, again, you're using different muscles, and I think that helps you. And I know you talk to college coaches, they love multi-sport athletes.
Talk a little bit about Larry Nix at Arlington. Larry touched a lot of people's lives. Hopefully he's watching tonight. Talk a little bit about that association, about how he groomed you, because he coached you for a long time. You learned coaching styles from him. How special was that bond?
I'd say it was really special. Not only was he my high school coach, but I coached with him for 16 years. So when I had a chance to coach with him, I learned not only so much about him, but he helped me and mentored me in the sport as well. But I can tell you, we must have had an impact on kids, because there can't be a week or 2 weeks goes by that I see a kid that we coached that they always run up to me and still thank me for how we were able to impact their lives.
The cool thing about that, I have the same thing. They'll come up and say, hey, Coach, I'm coaching now. How did you deal with? And I said, well, when I dealt with you with that, kind of cool. What are you doing now? And are you still in the game?
It's the same thing. I am not in the game anymore. I had 2 girls that played college volleyball, so I basically traipsed around the country for the last 6 or 7 years following them play. At some point in time, I wouldn't mind maybe dipping my toe, only as an assistant maybe, or as a consultant to help out. But I do still enjoy the game. That's why I'm here tonight, just to enjoy some basketball.
Well, Indiana's looking for referees too.
Yeah.
You guys are a special breed. We're going to leave that up to you guys.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Hey, I really appreciate it. You guys.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. All right. Halftime score 32-22. What's Heritage Christian got to do, Kevin, to get back into this?
Heritage Christian,
I mean, they're back in it, but what do they got to do?
You know, I think they picked it up by getting back into it, by getting aggressively to the hole, like Cathedral took off aggressively the first quarter. Heritage Christian turned around and took it back at them, but I tell you what, that size of Cathedral, and I still think the quickness there, I think at the end of the game, the spread might be a little bit greater, but I'm going to sit back and watch the rest up and see what happens.
You know, Frank Kendrick's posters right there in 1970, the young man that's doing color, he knows all about that guy. We love you. You guys are doing a great job. By the way, the audience thinks Troy is doing a really good job. Way to carry Troy tonight. It's halftime. We'll be back with those guys right after this.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
As we're back at halftime with the score 32-22. Kevin and I will be back to preview game number 2 for you. Game number 2, don't forget tonight, Washington taking on Addicts. That's in game number 2. We'll have about 5 or 6 minutes in between games that gives those guys time to rest their vocal cords. We'll have some guests for you. We'll also have a halftime game on halftime show for you at the second game as well. Kevin, very good first half. Let's see what happens.
Yes, definitely good. First half here was, as I said before, not exactly I thought it was going to be as close as it is, but I tell you what, I think, Heritage Christian, once again, they stay aggressive, take it back at Cathedral and show they're not afraid of them. We might turn it in, but I still think at the end of the game.
We'll be taking a break. We'll be back right after this.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Start your career with Boilermaker Union Local 374, 219-845-1000. And since I know Keith knows that you carried me in the first half, I think I might try to go be a metal fabrication worker here pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, hey, I think for what it's worth, I think you're carrying me. You're doing a great job.
Oh, bless your heart. You young people know how to sweet talk this.
That's right. There you go. There you
All
go.
right, let's talk about now second half, because, again, the game turned, made it a 10-point game because Heritage was able to stay in there. They got points on the board. How much more can they fight from behind? I'm sure the object is here. Let's don't fall behind again.
Well, stay in that zone. Make it really tough for Cathedral to score by staying in that zone. Make them make contested jump shots. And then offensively, keep using Cathedral's aggression against them. Get downhill when they help, make good passes, move well without the ball, and then see where it goes from there.
Heritage led the basketball first to begin the second half. Trapped in the lane was DJ Green. Driving baseline Schnippel, and there's a double team and a turnover. Number 10 quickly down the floor, and that's as quick as you're going to get right there. as Derek Kennedy able to lay it in. He'll go to the line for 2.
And that, you hold Cathedral to 14 points in that second quarter, and you do it by not letting them get out and get easy, fast breaks, and then you do that with a turnover right there. That'll be your kryptonite tonight, and that's something you got to avoid.
I haven't seen anybody get down the floor that fast since you played, Coach. I know you're.
That is a compliment. That's.
I was going to say Keith, but we know that isn't the case. So.
Right.
Lead at 13 now. 10 turnovers again by Heritage. 9 tonight by Cathedral. The winner of this game plays the winner of Washington and Crispus Attucks. Good look at DJ Green. Switching defense as Peters receives the basketball against Kaler. Here's McGee. McGee on the drive, might have been partially blocked, and what do we have here? Might be a foul call against Josh McGee, and it is.
Really good job by Cathedral there. Played defense for about 30 seconds. Just would not give Heritage Christian anything good to look at, and they ended up driving in, taking a bad shot, and now the Irish get the ball back and have a chance to get off to even a better start now this half.
Lincoln Taug will come in 6 points in that second quarter. Fighting Irish basketball. By the way, Sheldon Gatlin a chance to get in the lineup again for Cathedral. Had those 2 early fouls. Here's a downtown 3 missed by Kaler. Follows his shot, gets the rebound. Kick in the corner, 3 missed once again by Gatlin. They'll get another one.
And then you see in that zone 2 missed threes, 2 offensive rebounds. And now it leads to a layup.
Boy, how about that pass to Hughes, though, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you might take away those turnovers early by Cathedrals. The ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to keep it right here. They're just about as good of a passing team as you're going to see.
Oh, yes, they are. They're very in sync with one another, and they know they have kids that make the right plays. And having basketball IQ is something that, you can teach it, but a lot of that is you're born with it, too.
One thing about it, too, Coach, is there's not a lot of lazy passes either, are there?
No, they're very crisp. That's a good point, Troy. They're very crisp to the point, getting to their spot.
How about that drive by DJ Green? He has 11.
I like what DJ Green's done tonight, man. He's really been aggressive. He's attacked downhill, and he's got his team some points.
Floater's going to be missed on the baseline by Gatlin. Rebounded by Hughes, and we've got a foul call, I believe, yep.
And another offensive rebound. You get the initial stop, and you can't use it to convert, and you got to score points to get back in the game. You can't give the Irish more possessions. So they got to find a way to shore that up. The zone is working relatively well, but if you can't rebound out of it, it becomes almost defeatist.
Luke Peters picked up his 3rd. Kaler on the baseline. Nice touch on that shot. He has 6. 39-24 and a near turnover at midcourt. Schnippel on the drive, quick pull up, no. One and done there for the Eagles. Kaler back the other way, blocked by Peters.
Man, Peters, again, we talked about it, Troy. That's a 6'8" Division I, high-level Division I player whose shot he blocked there. Peters is a good player, man.
Loudon able to get the bucket at the other end. Yeah, and he just has a good way of timing it.
He most certainly does.
Which was something we saw earlier in the year. Here's a 3. Kennedy hits that one. That's his second 3. He has 9 points tonight.
Oh, a little lazy pass right there. Yeah, Kennedy, he's such a good glue guy. He's such a good basketball player. He's a kid you want to have on your team. He can shoot it. He passes it. He guards. He plays hard 100% of the time. He's a kid that wins games, and that's why he's a big reason why Cathedral's had so much success.
Yeah, by the way, Derek Kennedy with 6 points in this quarter. And he certainly can take over a basketball game just like about any of these guys can from Cathedral. There he comes again in the corner, 3-pointer, knocked it down again.
And you see he drove in and he trusted his teammates that would come back. It's great ball movement. He doesn't take bad shots either. Very unselfish player.
So Derek with his second 3-pointer in the quarter. Peters splits 2 defenders. Short jump hook, no, and Kaler with a rebound. Lead is ballooned to 19 once again. Kaler, we talked about him. He'll play a lot out on the perimeter. And a reaching foul called. They may get Cole Loudon. But that's what makes Kaler kind of tough to guard, too. You're talking about kids, what, about 6'8", left-hander?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Just crazy out there.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that he's left-handed because there's only 2% of those left anyway.
That's
know?
right. That's right.
I always like to throw that in a broadcast when I see a left-hander.
I think that's the second time you've done that.
Yeah, it probably is. How about that?
Cathedral feeding the hot hand. Zone post pick play. Kennedy catches, and he's money tonight.
Kennedy with his third straight three, and all of a sudden it's a 22-point ball game. Here's Peters. The kick out. Schnippel for three, no, and we've got a foul away from the basketball. It looks like we might stay right here.
Aiden Hughes blocked out Peters there, and I think they said he was a little too aggressive with the block out, and I believe his hands, he kind of grabbed him a little bit instead of having his arms up.
Well, if he blocked out way out there, didn't he, Coach? He wasn't even close to the basket. I like that block
That's
out.
right. He rooted him out on that one.
Heritage trying to get that offense going. So far, just 4 points in the quarter. Shot's going to be missed on the drive by DJ Green, and off on the run again is Cathedral. You better get back on your horse pretty quick against these guys.
That's right. You cannot. Here's another one from Canada. He's in his zone, man.
Wow.
He's in his zone.
Kennedy gets another one. Timeout on the floor. 51-26, Fighting Irish.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Their mission is building better futures one story at a time. They acknowledge the whole person and their individual story. For more information, give them a call at 317-472-7600. Coach, one thing about Cathedral, and people will find this out when you watch them play. I liked it that they went to Derek that many times because he had the hot hand. Everybody else didn't really care. Give him the ball.
Absolutely. You can see those kids enjoyed seeing Derek have success. That's why they're good. That's why they're 13-1 and ranked in the top 5 in the state. They are about Cathedral. They're not about themselves. And that makes all the difference in the world, especially in today's day and age.
Well, and as a coach, when you see that type of player, you love to have those guys on your team, too.
Oh, you love them. All these, you look at LeBron go, Aiden Hughes, Kohler out here, obviously Canada. When these guys are all good players, but they're good team basketball players.
Yeah. By the way, leaving the ball game will be Gatlin. Gatlin, big kid, too. What is he, about 6'7", 6'8" as well?
Gatlin's got great size to him. I'd give you, 6'6", 6'7" for sure.
Second free throw is missed as well, and then McGee, or take that back, DJ Green gets blocked out of bounds. I never had that kind of talent when I coached. If I could just roll the ball out. Turnover here, Hughes, and Peters coming from behind, got a piece of him, and Peters gets his fourth.
And Peters certainly earned that one. He was not going to give up on that play. Not a dirty play at all. Good play, really. Almost got it clean. And we talked about his 5 blocks a game. Well, he's trying to get another one there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's got 4, so he's going to have to be very careful. But at this stage, you're down as much as you are. You might as well gamble with it. It looks like he's going to come out of the ball game, though. Aiden Hughes now with 7.
Max Patillo in for Christian.
I want to see Max Patil for the first time tonight. Hughes, the second free throw is good. Well, the big story here is Derek Kennedy, who has 15 points in the quarter, and that'll be an offensive foul on Lincoln Taug. That'll be his second. That is the 12th turnover now in Heritage.
And great job by Hughes coming over and rotating that. It's kind of a fast break play. It really wasn't even the half court. He still was able to rotate and take a charge on it.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's going to be a foul called on DJ Green. I will be curious. I know you talked about Fishers a little bit ago. There's some really good basketball teams out there, but I don't know that there's any true favorite. Do you see anybody that's really so dominating that they'll walk through that tournament?
I don't think you can ever walk through the 4A state tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is Fishers and Cathedral, as well as obviously Addicts and Lawrence North, they're all in different semi-states. Fishers goes up north, everyone else goes south. So, Fishers might have to deal with Kokomo and Floyd Beginda if they can get out of sectional, which is a tall task in itself.
Yeah.
But I like Fishers' chances right now, probably more than anyone, simply because they don't have to play with the Marion County teams to get to the state finals.
Yeah, it's like think about having those teams in that sectional. What a man! I tell you, I don't know how you could do that every night and survive, right?
Oh, it's a sectional 8 and sectional 10 every year. You're just going to get the highest quality of basketball, high-level coaching, high-level players, great talent, great fan bases. It's very fun to be a part of.
Tried to dunk it is Anthony Fields. I think he got blocked more by the rim than he did the player. But of course, if I tried to dunk, that had been on the bottom of the rim, so at least he got a few inches higher, right? Coming up on a minute to go on this one, and a foul call. They may get Derek Kennedy on the foul. And they did. Into the lineup now for Heritage will be Leighton Dolvin. He played a little bit in the first half. By the way, after this game, there's a turnover on the inbound. Nope. Boy, I tell you what, sometimes it's just nice to be in the right place at the right time,
That's right? Aiden Hughes with his hustle put himself in the right place in the right time on that one.
Gatlin just kind of trailing the play, and the next thing you know, it's in his hands for a layup. Boy, a lot of contact down low, but they'll say it's on the floor. And Hughes is like, wait a minute, I was just standing here. Number 3 on Hughes. Well, this thing, again, ballooned really fast, and simply because, again, Heritage, 4 in the first quarter, 18 in the second, only 4 here in the third.
Yeah, and it's kind of so the first and third quarter have been so reminiscent,
Good look out front is Loudon, who, by the way, only has 2. He averages 9. Peters only has 2. Floater's going to be missed in the lane, and coming away with it will be Aiden Hughes. He was kind of one of those big body kids, isn't he?
He is. Role player guy, does a little bit of everything, takes charges, gets the basket for you, will defend. Very good player to have on your team.
Johnson back in. Well, you look at that play right there, and I know it's going to be a turnover by Cathedral. But looked like Kaler was ready to take off. Don't you want your player just, if you're going to make that fake, go, right?
Go, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you end up faking out your own teammate, and that's what happened there. Washington and Addicts will come up next. That three's way short by Loudon. Another change is Cash Daniels back in the lineup now for Cathedral.
Freshman guard, we saw him make an impact when he came in the first half, so assuming he's going to do the same now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd love to have more playing time, right?
That's right.
Daniels will give it off in the corner, and a traveling call against Brady Kaler. That will be the 11th turnover now by Cathedral. They had 9 at halftime, so they've kind of cut that down quite a bit here in the third. Loudon across the timeline. Boy, and there's another steal. Kennedy back the other way and dunks it. How about that, huh?
Cherry on top for Kennedy, man.
What a quarter.
Yeah.
And by the way, the 14th turnover the other way. Rebounded by Kaler, and he's going to lead the break the other way and shoots at the midcourt and got it.
It's been that kind of quarter for the Irish, hasn't it?
Wow.
I wonder if he called bank on it.
I think he probably did. That'll do it for the third, 62-26.
62-26.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We're going to take another look at that three-pointer. Take a look at this. That was beyond half court.
That was impressive. You know, you like to say that's lucky, but he kind of shot that. That was a skill thing.
Does he get like $10,000 for that? Because he hit those half-court shots at games at the other games like at Butler and such. You can get money for that.
You can get money for that, yeah. He needs to sign up for it.
Yes, he does. By the way, Coach, a 30-4 quarter for Cathedral.
Well, I think Coach Delaney chewed him out a little bit there at halftime and told them they need to put their intensity and energy back up, and they certainly heeded the call.
Montiel gets the block. And as we head the other way, traveling call against Dalton. That'll be their 15th. By the way, with the point advantage right now, it is past 35 in the second half, so it will be a running clock the rest of the way. I would never have thought this, Coach.
No, I know.
At this stage.
Yeah. You know, we kind of saw it in football. I think that's what spurred it. We had so many blowouts in high school football. And not that, we're immune to them in high school basketball, but certainly was worse in that sport, and I think it just kind of carried over in all IHSAA time sports as such.
Three-pointer good. (62-29). Kaler in the lane. Jumper short. Taub with a rebound. 2-on-1 break back the other way. He'll get it back and then blocked by Kaler, and they're going to call a foul. Well, I think it's safe to say Cathedral's going to move on.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Cathedral, you can kind of sit back and get more guys playing time. Now it's hard with these city tournament rules. You can't play swing players.
Yeah.
So I think Coach Delaney's roster, just like everybody else's, is probably 8 or 9 guys, and the freshmen can't play JV, and the JV can't play varsity. So maybe your 7, 8 guy, 9 guy, you get a lot more minutes for, but certainly for the Irish, a chance to rest and be very fresh coming into Monday night.
By the way, Spencer Deaton is in the ball game as Talgo missed both. He wears number 14 for Heritage Christian. There's a block shot on the attempt by Alburn Johnson. By the way, don't forget Championship Monday will be tip-off time scheduled for around 7:45. In the corner, here is Kaler with the basketball. Strong drive, but the turnover by Daniels.
Cash Daniels, coming in trying to make a play is the right decision. That's something you'll see as he gets 2 weeks from now. He won't make that same mistake, and he'll be able to cup that ball and either pass it or keep going.
17-footer no good by Josh McGee. They're one and done again, and here come the Fighting Irish. How about this three?
Why not? Why not? He's probably the last guy you want to leave open right now too.
Kennedy, another one. A drive the other way, good by McGee. Well, we haven't seen a quarter like Kennedy had in that third in a while, because he just hit everything. Shot missed, rebound. Here's Kaler on the baseline, good. This is off the mark by Lincoln Taug, and we'll head the other way. And that was a smart play, too. Again, you got a big lead here. Just bring it back out. Got a good look in the corner there by Johnson. Back the other way, almost a turnover. Here's Deaton. Taug will drive, reverse layup. No, Peters able to tip it in.
He's active, man. We've seen him all year long do stuff like that. Peters is a good basketball player. And quite frankly, I wouldn't let the scorebook fool you. Heritage Christian's a good basketball team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason they're 10-3, too, and it's not like they play a lightweight schedule either.
Yeah.
Cathedral's just outstanding.
Yeah. No doubt about that. It's going to be a turnover again. And then back the other way, layup good. That'll be Dolvin with a bucket. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Here's what I like about the Fighting Irish. Even with the big lead, they were letting a couple of their players have it. They weren't hustling. We'll take a timeout, 67-35.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Bertner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. Piper Warehouse is a group of logistics professionals dedicated to working together to provide their clients with a complete logistics program. They have offices in Indianapolis and Cincinnati, so roll with them today. Give them a call at 317-396-1023. Derek Kennedy, by the way, 25 points tonight. By the way, only 3 at halftime.
Man, he's really lit it up. Younger brother of NBA G Leaguer Devin Kennedy was an Indiana All-Star and star at Princeton when he was in college, and you can kind of see the genetics go together pretty good there.
Helps to have a brother that can beat up on you for a few years, and then you can come back later, right?
Yep.
Heritage Christian on Lincoln Taug.
Taug picks up the foul. Free throw is good by Cash Daniels. He has 3 points tonight. Second free throw missed. How about that rebound put back good by Johnson? Want to remind you, today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Taug's jumper is missed. Any use of audio or video without the express written permission of IndianaSRN and the IHSAA is strictly prohibited. And there's your freshman Daniels with a nice jumper.
Nice pull up there, getting himself involved. Did a good job with his rhythm. Knockdown is what he can do and get himself in the scorebook.
Boy, Heritage will look at this, and there's a 5-second call. Good defense again by Cash Daniels. They will look at that first quarter. They got in the hole. They battled back, made it a 10-point game at halftime, and then just could not find that offense again in the third. And against good teams, you just can't have those kind of droughts.
No, there's no question about it. As you see Cash Daniels there getting a 5-second count. As a freshman, that's how you get more playing time. You're up in a blowout. You keep playing hard, get a 5-second count. That's a great sign. It shows you that young man's head's in the right place.
Then you see here, motion offense on the weave out front by Cathedral. Jumper is going to be missed by Gatlin. Well, I'll tell you what, there's another one. You dive on the floor for a loose basketball and you're up 72-35.
That's right. Those kids want to play, man.
Kennedy having a big game, and he's still hustling. That baseball pass went somewhere downtown, I think. Johnson may be trying out for the baseball team.
That's right. I saw Coach Freegee in the house earlier, so maybe getting an early start on the tryouts this year.
By the way, it was touched by Heritage, so Cathedral will keep the basketball. Well, we certainly encourage players to play multiple sports. How about the ball handling right here? Layup's going to be missed by Kennedy.
Can you believe he missed? Back. And it was a layup.
I know. They got to get him back out beyond the three-point line.
Well, then here it is.
See?
Troy, you called that one.
Wow, 28 points. Well, sometimes you just got the whole feel of the game like he has tonight, right?
I mean, that basket probably looks like the Pacific Ocean to him right now.
I'm sure that we'll hear at some point between games that Keith Myers probably said, well, I helped him shoot it, helped him warm up, so he'll take credit for it. I'm not sure Keith had 28 in his entire career. Shots off the mark by Stewart, who's checked in the lineup. And a tackle from behind. As Heritage getting new players in the lineup, that'll be Caden McGee, number 11.
His first team second in the quarter.
It's good news that for us, Keith can't hear any of this. So
yeah, right.
So at this stage, just play out the final 27 seconds of this contest. Cathedral will pick up their 13th win of the year, and more importantly, they're moving on to the championship game. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Passion of Care. Don't miss a chance to turn your compassionate efforts into a rewarding experience. Learn more about SFC, ATTC today, and embark on a journey in care and compensation. Give them a call at 317-537-1811. And a dominating performance tonight by Cathedral on both ends of the floor. And got a lot of people thought it was going to be this way. Again, Heritage played a good second quarter, but they just couldn't find offense in the other three.
Yeah, like you said, Heritage Christian's a good team, but Cathedral's has too much, and they just kind of overwhelmed them is the best way to say it, in short. And, this is an Irish team that's, looking to get their city championship back, and they certainly put a statement out there tonight to do that.
Three players in double figures. Derek Kennedy led the way with 28, Anthony Fields with 10, Aiden Hughes with 10. Should also mention that Brady Kohler finished with 11, so they actually had 4 players in double figures tonight. On the other side, DJ Green led Heritage with 11 points. He was the only player in double figures tonight for Heritage. With that loss, they fall to 10 and 4 on the season. And again, Cathedral advancing to the championship game coming up on Monday night. Now, I don't know who they're going to play. I think odds are that we're probably going to see an Addicts Cathedral rematch from last year. That ought to be a heck of a matchup if it turns out to be that way.
Oh, and if it is, I certainly can't wait to see it. And that's no disrespect to the Washington Continentals, as they're going to come in here and make this, as hard as it can on Addicts to get to that rematch. But you're certainly talking about 2 high-level teams, 2 high-level programs who have both won state championships here recently, both contended for sectional titles every year. That's certainly going to be something to look at, Troy.
And I would imagine that for Cathedral, they'd love to get another shot after what happened last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Addicts just kind of came out and just took them to the mat and, threw them around a little bit. And I think they've actually kind of split the city titles the last 4 or 5 years. Maybe Cathedral +1 there, but that certainly is becoming the rivalry in the city of Indianapolis.
And we're going to see Desmond Briscoe, and I think maybe that was kind of his coming out party last year in that game against Cathedral.
Yeah, I mean, he took Xavier Booker to the mat and showed, he was the best player in the city, and certainly in that game.
Yeah.
And, he's going to have a chance to defend that crowd, but I think the Irish are going to be ready.
We have one more game. We're going to take a timeout. It'll be Washington Addicts coming up next. Cathedral wins their first contest 75-35.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
As we're ready for semifinal number 2, Addicts taking on George Washington. Before we talked about that, Kevin, we got some guy who stopped by and said, hey, I'd really like to get on the air. Scott Hicks joins us, the AD at George Washington. First of all, thanks for joining us, and it's nice to see your team here.
Oh, man, it's wonderful. This is the first time we've been here in, I think, about 24 years, so we are excited. Guys been playing hard. Coach Hogg's done an excellent job, so we're excited. And going up against the Addicts Tigers, we're ready to go.
Anything can happen. Let's talk about yesteryear, though. We're number 10 for the Cathedral. You never passed the ball, and you did pretty well for yourself. Talk a little bit about those days and talk about how things have changed since then.
This is exciting just to be in this atmosphere. I haven't been here in a while. As far as the city tournament and the Final Four, we were fortunate enough as a Cathedral team to get here. We won 6 of them here. Then we were fortunate enough to win one with Broad Ripple. And actually, I was on the 82 team with Ken Barlow and that group that won the very first one for Cathedral High School.
Yeah, Kenny Barlow still tells me you never passed the ball to him.
No,
you didn't like him, and then he went to school with you up at Notre Dame. You never passed the ball there. What was the deal there?
Well, Kenny knows that I passed the ball to him, but we had other guys that never passed the ball to us. So we tried to play as a team. But no, Kenny is one of my best friends. He's a great guy. He was my roommate for 3 years at Notre Dame, and we have a lot of great memories in high school and as well as Notre Dame.
We have some great memories as well. Piper, us, and we bring Lewis along. Man, there was some heydays back in the day.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, this is a tremendous feeling. I used to try to translate to my kids that this was probably one of the biggest tournaments in the state. Me growing up, this was it. This was, you couldn't find a seat on a Saturday, and then a Monday you definitely couldn't find a seat. So we put a lot of emphasis on having some success mid-season in the city tournament, and we're trying to relate that to our kids now.
Talk a little bit about the coaching strategy. They just saw Heritage Christian get beat. Your kid's got to be looking at that and go, hey, that could be us. What do you, Coach Hogg, what's he saying? Well, look at Eddie. Eddie's trying to ease in.
Yeah, this my guy right
That's
here.
right.
This my guy.
What do you tell your kid? How do you tell your kids you're an underdog, but you don't even operate that way, do you?
This city tournament, so you got to just come ready to play every possession. We've been doing a very good job as far as tempo, keeping tempo, things like that, against a great Addicts team, extremely talented, great guard play, their big man is big time, so we just got to keep our composure. I mean, with their pressure, great shooters, so we just got to play our game. That's the main thing.
Kevin's got a couple of questions, especially the overtime. You squawked one out the other day.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Hicks, being an official myself here, and I remember some of the games I've had you up and down, I will say, as we're sitting here talking to him, Keith, right now, look at, he's a very charismatic coach. He's a hard coach to handle as an official because he's always smiling. His presentation skills are so good. But Coach Hicks, let me give you a chance to smile and talk about your student athletes. You have some kids I'm sitting there watching as a proud coach and a proud parent. Are there some kids you'd like to talk to us about as far as academically, student, how they're doing well? I'll give you an opportunity to talk about some of your kids.
I mean, across the board, our kids have done a great job. Not only our basketball team, but all sports. And as far as our academics concerned, we just got a report the other day that we're about at a 3.0 across the board, which is excellent for our kids. We didn't lose any kids at the break, so that's where we strive for. It's a great academics and being successful on and off the court.
That's a win-win when you know how to lose a kid. I'm telling you what, I coached many years. I lost a lot of kids.
Oh yeah.
We're going to let you go because we know you got to go find your popcorn and all that stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's great to see you. This broadcast is the #1 broadcast in the state of Indiana, so I appreciate being on there, my man.
I'll give you a quarter later.
We'll take a always smile.
Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the matchups right after this.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
It's Christmas Addicts at 11-3. George Washington 8-6. Both coaches have been here a while. Coach Hogg has been with Washington for 4 years. Chris Hawkins has been at Addicts for his 8th year. Has won a state championship with this team. They got to be the favorite. What do you tell your kids?
You know what? As Coach Hicks said, it's a city tournament. The thing about it, we know who the favorites are, things like that. But I tell you what, history's shown things can happen. Hey, Washington here, the momentum go. We never know what's going on. But the great thing about it is these are kids out here enjoying this tonight. And this environment here, city tournament, is awesome.
We thank you very much for joining us. We'll be with you at halftime. The guys that are calling the game are next on IndianaSRN.
One team is in. That's the Fighting Irish of Cathedral, the #1 seed. They now wait and see if it'll be Christmas Addicts, the #2 seed at 11-3, or will it be the upset-minded Washington squad at 11 seed and an 8-6 record coming into this semifinal here tonight. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? Bertner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Coach, game 2. It's a Washington team that has been upset-minded all tournament long. They beat Purdue Poly, the #6 seed in the first round, 41-39. Then they beat the host Tech team on their home floor in overtime, 55-52. Now the question is, do they have 3 in a row in them for this one tonight?
Well, I know they're hoping the clock does not strike midnight for Cinderella.
Yeah,
that's for sure. They'll come out tonight. This is an old rivalry game. Your two West Side IPS schools going after it, Addicts and Washington. There's just a laundry list of great players that have played at these two, and these kids are just looking to add their name next on that list and advance their team to the city championship.
Well, Washington certainly playing with a lot of confidence coming into this one, no doubt about it. You don't upset 2 teams in higher seeds, you're not doing something right.
No, that's absolutely right. And Coach Hogg's a very good coach. He's a very good player at Wharton Central himself. He's done a great job building this program up. Year 4 now. I think they got a chance. They can really do some damage, not only tonight, but as the season goes on as well.
Let's talk about some of the players to look for. They have 4 players that score in double figures. Roosevelt Franklin, Jordan Stratton, along with David Lee, all averaging 11 points per game, and Malik Starks at 10. You got 4 guys right there that can certainly, any one of those guys can light you up on a given night.
No, absolutely. And Starks is a 35% shooter from 3. The rest of the guys are very capable of making jump shots, but they prefer to live getting to the basket and finishing around the hole, hitting some mid-range stuff. You talk about the balance, you talk about the experience. These are all seniors with the exception of Franklin. So these are kids that have been around the block. They know what their coach wants. They've got great experience, and they're ready for the moment.
They got some size, too, and I've been watching their big 6'11 player, Clem Butler. I don't know what kind of player he is, but it is nice to have somebody that big.
Absolutely, because his sheer presence alone, he can get rebounds. He can alter shots, change shots. He's a guy you can dump it off to. And I think it's a Washington team that he, as every game they've played, he just gets better and better and becomes more involved in what they want to do, and which is, I think, makes him very dangerous in tournament time.
One Achilles heel might be this, 21 turnovers per game, and they can't turn the ball over tonight.
Crispus Attucks under Coach Hawkins has been outstanding at pressing you and converting off turnovers. They get up and down the court. They love to play fast. They score a lot of points. You're absolutely right. Any game, 21 turnovers is too much. But against Crispus Attucks, that is their strong point, and they will make you pay.
When we come back, we'll talk about the number 2 seed, Crispus Attucks, next right here on IndianaSRN.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back once again here at Tech High School, a Crispus Attucks team, 11-3 on the year. They got here by winning their first game. In fact, they got one of the 2 byes. They knocked off Ritter 83-57 to get here in this one here tonight. Coach, I'll tell you what, if they can play as good as they dance, and I was watching them dance in the pregame, they're going to be pretty good tonight.
Oh, no question about it. No question about it. They love to play loose. They're confident. They know what they can do, their abilities and what they can bring to the table to make life hard on the Continentals tonight.
I watched Desmond Briscoe last year. We kind of thought it was, we mentioned in the last game, it was really, I thought, a breakout game for him because he got a lot of attention after that big win last year. 6'8", averaging 15 points per game. He, along with Ron Rutland, are a really good 1-2 punch.
Oh, absolutely. Briscoe's averaging 15 and 11. Big, strong, physical kid. Really took Xavier Booker, Michigan State committee's playing for the Spartans this year, took him to the mat and made him a non-factor in that game. Briscoe, very good, and he's improved his game. We can shoot out to 3. And then when you've got guards like Mason Lewis and Ron Rutland Rutland's been a 4-year varsity player. He's going to University of Indianapolis, where his dad played at. Very good basketball player, going to one of the better Division II programs in the country. You'll see that on display tonight. It's going to be a team that they can beat you in a lot of different ways. And we'll see how the Continentals attack them tonight to see which way Attucks will have to beat them.
Well, and they shoot pretty well, too. You look at a team shooting at 49%. I thought Cathedral shot pretty well, too, and they're at 53. These guys are at 49. And, again, a lot of that has to do with probably turning you over and getting some layups here or there, but they can also shoot from the outside.
Absolutely. They've got kids, Rutland especially can really light it up, but also Lewis is very capable. They've got good size with Eric Jackson off the bench. It's a very complete team. And Coach Hawkins has talked about how much he loved coaching this group, how much continuity they have. We saw with Cathedral how close those guys were. And I think you see the same thing. You're going to see the same thing with Addicts tonight, and that's why these two programs have had so much success on a city and state level.
On the other side, we mentioned Washington, 21 turnovers per game. You look at an Addicts team, only 10 per game. I'll tell you what, I don't care who you are, I'll take that.
And it's even more impressive because of the way they play. They want to play fast. They try to kick it ahead. And so to only have 10 turnovers playing a very fast style of basketball really is impressive. It kind of shows the quality of players they have on that team.
We thought about Cathedral and how deep they are. You really kind of look at this Addicts team, and they can go very deep as well.
Absolutely. I think when you built a program like Coach Hawkins has at Addicts, you get kids that want to play and kids that want to wear that uniform. The tradition that school has and what it means to be a Crispus Attucks Tiger goes a long way in that as well.
What does it mean for them to get back and perhaps win another championship? And if they get Cathedral again, tell you what, on Monday night, if this place isn't packed, I'm going to be really surprised. That's going to be a really great matchup.
Oh, no question about it. I think tonight they just come out and play their game, and they're going to be fine. But, again, for this program to come out and they could win another city championship, they've won 2 already in the last 5 years or so. To repeat, certainly was a milestone. I believe only Cathedral's been able to do. I don't know. I have to fact check myself. I don't think Tech even did it with Trey Lyles those 2 years.
Wow.
So for them to be able to repeat a city champ would be extremely impressive.
Well, getting there is certainly, winning is one thing, but getting there, you got to get there too. And as I said a little bit ago, this is a Washington team playing with a lot of confidence tonight. What do they got to do to come out with a win here this evening?
Well, Washington's playing with house money, and like you said, they're playing with a lot of confidence. So for them, they just need to come out and play to the best of their ability. Don't turn the basketball over. Block Crispus Attucks out every time a shot goes up. Take good shots. Don't let Attucks get out in transition as well. Make them play a half-court game where your athletes and the players you have can maybe dictate what Attucks will do offensively.
All right, we're going to go to our public address announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Introducing the George Washington Continentals. At forward, a 6'3" sophomore, number 33, Cameron Brewer. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 24, David Lane. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 3, Malik Stars. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 1, Wes Stellers. The man in the middle, a 6'11" senior, number 34, Glenn Butler. In his first season as head coach here at Hall. The starters for the Crispus Attucks Tiger. At guard, a 6-foot junior, number 1, Chris Hurd. At guard, a 6'3" senior, number 0, Demetrius Jenkins. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 12, Mason Lewis. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 5, Ron Rutland. And the man in the middle, a 6'8" junior, number 11, Jasmine Briscoe.
All right, there you have it for Attucks, Briscoe, Rutland, Hurt, Lewis, and Jenkins. Tonight for Washington, Starks, Lee, Butler, Brewer, and Stellis. A little bit of a surprise, Franklin and Stratton apparently will come off the bench tonight. 2 of their scorers averaging 11 each, so at least gives them points off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, tonight we talked about what Washington needs to do for the Tigers. Exert your will early. Let them know that there's a reason they're the favorite, kind of like Cathedral did in that first quarter. And then, of course, contain the dribble. you don't want the Continentals getting downhill, getting easy baskets. So for Addicts, just contain the dribble, make them make outside shots.
It'll be Tiger basketball to begin this second semifinal here at Tech High School. Ball loose on the floor, and Addicts with their first turnover of the night. So it'll be Continentals basketball. This is Starks. A lot of quickness on the floor between these two teams as Brewer sets that high screen. That'll be Butler out on the high post. Now I was watching him in the warm-ups, and he'll shoot it from there if you give him a chance. And he's going to can this one. No, he missed it off the back of the iron. Brewer went for the rebound, but coming away with it will be Demetrius Jenkins for the Tigers.
And we see the Tigers' game plan there as Briscoe just stayed in the paint, didn't even bother to go out and get him. And now you're going to see Briscoe right away, ISO one-on-one, going to use his quickness. And they're letting it go, a little chirping early. It's going to be a fun game tonight.
I tell you what, at 6'8", he got through down that baseline pretty quick, didn't he?
He did, and that's why he's being recruited by Big Ten schools. Already has a handful of Missouri Valley, Atlantic 10, American Conference offers. So don't be surprised. I believe Ohio State has offered him as well. So don't be surprised you see that offer list go up.
Please don't tell me Ohio State, Coach. Being a Michigan guy, look at the sweatshirt, Coach. Come on. I better go talk to him at some point.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't do that.
You can't do that to you.
Otherwise, I can't mention his name anymore. Free throw is missed.
Well, he'll start calling you that team from up north.
Now, you just call us national champions anytime you want to. So, second free throw by Briscoe is good. Early 1-0 lead. Good pressure again here by the Tigers. They can really turn you over if you're not careful. This is Starks. Good matchup against Hurt. Lee with the basketball on the high post now to Butler. Butler a little bit out of his range there for sure, but as I said a little bit ago, he can shoot it from there. Love to see what he can do down low at 6'11". He'll get his chance. The kick out in the corner. The three on the way is no good by Lee. Put back, yes, the big guy, Butler.
And I think Briscoe thinks he might have got away with a bit of a push there. Great start by Washington. Very patient on offense. Got a shot they wanted. Good job on the offensive rebound.
Well, Briscoe's certainly not afraid to take on bigger players. He did that last year in the championship game. That's going to be missed. Rebound Jenkins. Here's Briscoe once again. Skip pass in the corner. Three on the way, good. That'll be Mason Lewis.
Mason Lewis is a very good shooter, very good guard. You see, he used to be much skinnier. He's put on some weight in his upper body, done a great job in the weight room. He's going to be a nice player at the collegiate level for somebody.
Stellis will get it now to Butler. Little bump down low, off-balance shot, no good by Starks. Here come the Tigers, lead pass in the corner. Three-pointer on the way is no good, as Rutland can't get it to fall, and it goes out of bounds back over to the Continentals.
Well, you saw Hurd and Rutland both release when the shot went up. Washington had nobody back. Briscoe looked ahead. They're taught to do that. Continentals are going to have to make sure they don't let those guards get behind them when they shoot on offense.
Zone trap again here by the Tigers. The drive by Lee, and Briscoe thought he got a piece of that one. In fact, he felt that was pretty clean, but Briscoe picks up his first and will go to the line.
Well, and that's a foul that can change the course of a game if he gets one more here in the first half, with him being their best player and a big guy underneath. But certainly I think he thought that was a clean shot and shot block, and I think maybe they said he got him with the body.
And Briscoe saying, hey, wait a minute, down here, I remember somewhere that I felt like I got pushed in the back. I was down here, that's right. Lee gets the first one. Second free throw is up and good. Good start for Lee. Tied at 4. Each team doing a little pressing action. Ball nearly stolen away, picked up by Rutland. Left-hand shot on the baseline is good. Nice touch there by Jenkins.
Another lefty.
Yeah,
another lefty.
Thing is about left-handers, you can't trust them. They're smooth. Good pressure again, and it's going to force a turnover. The steal by Hurt. First turnover by the Continentals. That's Rutland, passes up the 3. Lewis will find Hurt. Here's Briscoe, top of the key three, no good. And the rebound high for that one Starks. Ball tipped in the air, second turnover. Quickly the other way, Rutland misses it. The tip-up missed as well. Offensive rebound, left hand put back good by Jenkins.
4 Tigers all over it there, and again, that starts with a bad Washington turnover and a kick ahead. Good job getting back, trying to block the initial shot, but then be able to corral the rebound.
Wide open jumper, good three-pointer by Butler. I told you, Coach.
Yeah. And he let the Addicts bench know about it, as if they're not going to guard him. He said he's going to make them pay.
Foul called will go against Clem Butler. That's going to be a second. But I'll tell you what, he's probably thinking, wait a minute, I thought Briscoe pushed off on me.
Yeah. And Butler underneath the basket there. Briscoe just got his body into him. He's got to go vertical on that one.
So Desmond Briscoe back to the line for the third and fourth times. 1 for 2 from the free throw line so far tonight. You know, it's funny that you look at Desmond Briscoe, had that great year last year as a sophomore, and he's only a junior. I mean, he's got another year to go before put some size on that body, some strength. He'll be a real force next year.
Oh, absolutely. And his jump shot continues to get better.
Well, one thing about it, Indiana's not short of very talented basketball players.
No, that's always the case, isn't that?
Yeah. I just recruit here in this state and forget everybody else.
That's right.
How about that drive? And I think we may have a foul on the way up. A late whistle called against Jenkins, yeah.
You know, it's interesting, Troy. These two teams are going to play on Tuesday night in a regular season scheduled game.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So 4 days from now, they'll be – and I'm kind of surprised at the timing of that with Addicts, being a team – that plays, has a chance to play in the city championship every year. They schedule a game on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. Excuse me, it'll be Wednesday of next week.
Wednesday night, yeah. Still not much turnaround time, is there? By the way, Jordan Stratton in the ball game, averaging 11, gets his first 2. And we're back to 1-point ball game. This is Hurt. Dangerous pass, but able to get it to Jenkins. Jenkins loses it on the double team. To be Hurt at the left elbow, back outside to Lewis. Continentals really chasing after the loose basketball. This is Rutland. Shovel pass will find Jenkins. Nearly lost it. Here's Lewis. Lewis, pull-up jumper from 13, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Starks. Lead pass. Lee the other way. Short, might have been partially blocked, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Continentals.
And good job by Washington on defense last time. Christmas Addis kind of moved it around, got a little impatient. Lewis took a shot he can make, but probably not the best shot you want. Washington was able to get it, convert, and go out and get in transition a little bit, and now they got a blob.
Jackson Payton coming in, a 6'3 senior. Eric Jackson also coming in for the Tigers. And a 5-second call against the Continentals, their third turnover.
Great job by Addicts there. And again, we talked about Washington having turnovers. That's a dead ball turnover. You'll live with that a little bit because now Addicts can't take full advantage. But that's something 3 early. When only 4 minutes of play, you need to slow that down a little bit.
Under 3.5, first quarter. Boy, they left Payton wide open on that baseline and stripped away. Second turnover. Here's Lee. Blocked in the lane, and I'll tell you what, Rutland can't believe it.
They're going to say Rutland hit him on the arm on the way up.
Lee back to the line. He's 2 for 2 from the stripe. You know, one thing we certainly, again, want to thank our officials for being a part of this game. This is not an easy, even of a 3-man crew, to call some of these games. You just got so much quickness out there. Sometimes I'm sure the angle isn't the greatest when you see what's going on, but it can be tough.
No question about it. No question about it. And that's why, we got a 3-man crew tonight, as it should be for, this caliber game.
By the way, they got Desmond Briscoe on a lane violation, so Lee's going to get 2 no matter what again. Briscoe's like, wait a minute. I don't know if he's set up below the block, but that'd be unusual. Maybe he stepped on the line. Second free throw is good. Lee has 4.
Roosevelt Franklin in for Washington.
Roosevelt Franklin averaging 11 a game, so they have 2 11-point scores on the floor at the same time now for Washington. Boy, look at the ball movement there by Addix. Inside to Briscoe. Layup good, and he's fouled.
Great job on the ball, but like you said, Eric Jackson caught it, drove it in, has a defender come over and dropped it off to Briscoe, and he knows what to do when he gets it that deep.
They have already, and I know it's early in the ballgame, Coach, that they remind me a lot of Cathedral. I mean, everything in a very crisp pass.
No question about it. That's a good point, especially against that zone pressure like that.
Doesn't it drive you nuts when you see a lazy pass?
Oh, it's the worst, isn't it?
It's
the worst.
And I don't understand it when that happens, because really, did they take away the point?
I think he said it counted. I'm not sure what the call was there.
Well, it was just one shot,
Yeah,
I don't know what that was. I haven't seen that before, but so now here's the zone trap again. Mentioned this is a Continentals team that's averaging 21 turnovers per game. That foul on Peyton.
Foul on Eric Jackson.
Nope, they're going to see Jackson. Eric Jackson picks up his first. But so far, just 3 here in the opening quarter against a Tigers team that can really turn you over. Now the change is we will see David Lee come back in.
Washington's been on it with those subs over there.
Haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, Franklin's coming out. I think he may have hurt his left hand, or because they're going to put some ice on that hand. And if he jammed his thumb. Lee on the drive, and the block by Briscoe. Tigers in transition, leading it by 2. They waste no time getting the ball down the floor, but they turn it over for the 3rd time.
Well, and good job by the Continentals there. They had 3 guys around Briscoe, and they're gonna allow them to move the ball around the perimeter and make perimeter jump shots, but they're not gonna let Briscoe catch on the block and beat him.
Brewer nothing there, so he'll bring it outside now to Stratton. Good defense there by Chris Hurt, working against Starks. Stellis now with the basketball. We're down to the 2-minute mark in the opening quarter.
Good job by Washington here trying to run their offense, being very patient, not forcing anything at the moment. Maybe want a little bit more movement off the ball.
Boy, big-time collision, and we have a blocking foul.
That basket went in. I don't see if they're going to call it on the floor or going up.
And they will count it, I do believe. Wow. So Stratton, chance to complete the 3-point play right here. Foul is going to go against, see, they still have Jackson's number up there. It's going to go against Rutland, his 2nd.
Oh, and that's a big foul right there. The top perimeter scorer goes out with a 2nd foul late in the first quarter here. Let's see how this changes the game a little bit.
So Mason Lewis back in. Rutland will sit down. Free throw good. Stratton off to a good start. 5 in the opening quarter off the bench. And Washington now leads it by 1.
And Washington playing, it looks like a 2-3 zone where they make sure they're sinking guys low, doing a good job communicating. Nice set play by Addix there.
Briscoe fouled by Brewer, who got over late.
And then you see Coach Hogg telling his player, don't worry about the guy outside of the perimeter. Sink in, make sure Briscoe can't catch that.
Yeah, he's almost automatic down there, isn't he? I'd rather have him shoot a couple of threes.
Oh, no question.
His 2nd miss of the night from the free throw line. Franklin is back in. He didn't stay out very long. And again, they got the ice pack out for that left hand, but he appears to be okay. 91 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Cathedral is advanced. They are awaiting the winner of this game. Briscoe hits 1 of 2.
Timeout.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. Want to remind you that you can unleash the power and passion of IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. Contact us at sales@indianasrn.org to discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that will maximize your brand and exposure. Central Indiana, we are the sports leader. And want to remind you, too, Officially Human, a part of our broadcast as well, and their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and court. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. If you missed the earlier game, Cathedral beat Heritage 75-35. That was a 10-point game at halftime before Cathedral went on a huge run. Yeah. A 30-point third quarter.
Derek Kennedy went on a huge run.
He did, yes. And he was in a zone for sure. Fighting Irish in a little zone here as well. Here's a downtown three on the way, missed. Starks can't get it to go, rebounded by Briscoe, and then a travel in the backcourt called against Lewis. Fourth turnover now by Addicts.
And probably a good job here by Coach Hawkins switching over to that zone. Again, Washington only shoots 28% from three on the year. Make them make some outside shots. They had gotten in some foul trouble, may want to give up on the man for the short term.
How about the inbound of Franklin? Franklin gets his first two. Back to a 2-point lead now for Washington. Here's Payton. His jumper's missed. And the rebound by Lee.
And you see there the game plan for the Continentals. They both sunk in on Briscoe and let Payton shoot that. That is what they want to do. They will give that up all day.
Continentals basketball. How about that turnaround quick release and the miss by Franklin? They'll get it back. That's Franklin, misses it as he tried it with the right hand on the left side. Tigers basketball. You know what? You like that quick shot, don't you, by Franklin, because Briscoe didn't have a chance to block it.
Yeah, correct. That's right. It was a shot he can make.
So now with 15 seconds remaining, Tigers chance to tie or take the lead. The drive down the lane, scoop shot up and good. That'll be Lewis. 2 seconds to go, and nothing at the buzzer by the Continentals. After one, we're tied at 16.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer traditional food like Grandma used to make. They have great staff and even better food. Check them out Wednesday through Sunday and give them a call at 317-760-1640. And want to remind you, today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Any use of audio or video without the express written permission of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association is strictly prohibited. Hey, good first quarter there.
Yeah, great job. I think Washington had more energy than Addicts did, and I think Addicts going to have to find a way to match that intensity and energy level. Certainly Briscoe came out fired up. Got to get his teammates to come along with him there.
Yep, Desmond Briscoe, 7 of their 16 points. On the other side, Stratton with 5 off the bench, 4 by Lee and 5 by Butler. And then, of course, Butler picked up that quick second foul. He's on the bench. Might be there for the rest of the first half, huh?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Especially if Washington stays right in this ball game. Drive on the baseline. Briscoe, the block, as he got Jenkins.
Got the third one. He's erased down there.
Briscoe looking opposite. reverse layup is going to be missed by Jackson.
Good cut by Jackson there. Good job by Briscoe. You see, he blocks a shot. He goes straight down and pins his man, seals his man. They give it to him. Founds it cutting Jackson. Just have to finish that one.
Franklin hard off the rim, and Briscoe another rebound. He's averaging 11 rebounds per game. Stellis will slow it up across to take that back. That's going to be Hurt slowing it up across the timeline. Back to Lewis. Lewis off the spin. Feeds outside to Hurt. Around the perimeter. Drive in the lane. Left hand. Falls in. How about that one, huh?
Good fall for Eric Jackson right there. Really good take. Went up and finished it with his left hand. Found the hole in the zone, attacked it, and scored.
Pretty good touch. So you can get that ball to hang on the rim like that.
That's right. Get it to drop in.
Wow. So now the Tigers lead it by 2. Brewer with the basketball out now to Starks. He'll be checked there by Jenkins. This is Brewer once again. Franklin coming off that screen. They can't get it to him. So here's Stratton. Stratton on the drive. In the corner, nothing there for Brewer. At the elbow, good look at Lee. I like this too because Coach, they didn't just throw up a shot because it wasn't there.
No, absolutely.
16-footer is short though by Stratton.
And what a great possession for Addicts defensively there. Stayed disciplined. Got Washington contested deep, too. That's exactly what you want when you're playing defense.
So Addicts basketball trying to build on a 2-point lead. Downtown 3 is on the way and good. There's Mason Lewis, his second 3-pointer.
And again, that was deep, too. And Washington is going to sink in. They're going to allow that shot to happen because they do not want Briscoe catching it in the paint of the high post area.
5-point lead. Continental's basketball. Good look at Brewer. This is Stratton. Stratton in the lane will get fouled. And the foul will go against Eric Jackson. Should be his second. Into the lineup now for Washington will be Stellis. Tigers will make a change as well. Looks like that's Julian Norwood, number 22. Ball loose, turnover Washington, that's their 4th. Down the floor, shot good. Mason Lewis again.
We're going to get a timeout here, it looks like, from Washington, but those turnovers, man, they go into easy points for Addicts. We talked about that as a key.
We'll take a timeout, 23-16.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
By the way, we do have one number change. It's not number 32. Devon Bales is actually wearing number 22 tonight for Crispus Attucks. They had him listed at 22 earlier, but it is now, or actually 32, it is now 22. Washington gets a timeout. Needed the timeout. Don't want this thing to get away. They're only down by 7, but they haven't had the offensive production that they had. It's a now 7-0 run by Addicts.
And let's see what Washington can do here. They had a little bit of movement early. The last few possessions, they kind of moved it around and just watched. And Addicts can set up their defense. Washington probably needs to get some more movement. I think they're looking for, a good one-on-one matchup. But against good teams, that's always going to be hard to do.
So here is, they drop back in that zone trap. And they'll go man-to-man on this one. Here's Stratton. Franklin on the drive. Boy, he put it on the floor. Yeah. They turn it over.
Can't do that.
Back the other way. Layup good. That'll be Chris Hurt. 5 turnovers now by Washington.
And if you're going to dribble in there, you got to have a purpose. And for the Continentals to do that, there's all kinds of Tigers waiting there with their hands moving around. You get in there, you see 2 or 3 white jerseys collapse, you got to kick it.
Another change as David Lee will come back in. And out of the lineup, Stratton will sit down. And we're going to see the big guy come back in. Clem Butler is going to play with those 2 fouls. Butler, the 6'11" post player. Nice pass inside. Lee able to run it down on the baseline after not catching it clean. Franklin for 3. Hits the score clock up top, and so that'll be a turnover as the Tigers will get it back. 9-point lead now.
And now Washington's going to show some 1-3-1 with the big fella back in the game.
Briscoe, quick release, good. An 11-0 run.
When you're in that 1-3-1 like that, Briscoe's still able to catch it, but you got the 6'11" guy behind him. Butler's got to do a better job of closing out on that, making him shoot way over the top. He was too comfortable.
Washington will inbound the basketball, and it's been all Addicts so far, an 11-0 run in this quarter. This is Butler with the ball. And reaching in is Briscoe, and I think they'll get Desmond for the foul. That'll be his second.
And that could be a game changer as well. We still got 4 minutes left here in this quarter. And Coach Hawkins is going to his bench. Let's see if he's coming in for Briscoe. He is.
Yeah, so Jackson Payton will come in. And really, when you look at that foul, Briscoe really doesn't need to reach on that. I mean, It was kind of a silly foul, right?
No, I think he saw it. He maybe left it out there for him and took the bait on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another turnover. That's number 6. Here come the Tigers once again. Great move inside, and I think they're going to get Butler on the foul, and that's going to put Chris Hurt to the line.
Chris Hurt did a good job on the stop and go there. Had 3 purple jerseys in front of him, went between his legs, went back, and drew the foul. He's going to get 2 free throws.
Well, Butler picks up the foul. What was he in? Maybe a minute? He already got his 3rd foul. So here is Hurt at the line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. If you need more information, give them a call at 317-686-6239.
Both free throws in there.
Hurt has 4.
And now with Rutland getting his 2nd foul in the first quarter, Briscoe just picking up his 2nd, you're going to see the depth and talent of Addicts build up here.
13-0 run and a blocking foul called against the Tigers. Looks like that might be Mason Lewis. And a chance now to stop this 13-0 run. Here's Stratton. Stratton is 3 of 3 from the line, has 5 points. So we will mark that down, a 13-0 run in the 2nd quarter. Sometimes you look at those runs and you think, what's the big deal right now? But by the end of the game, that's really when you can tell, right?
That's right. Good job stopping the bleeding there with the 2 free throws.
7 now by Stratton. Again, all those points coming off the bench. Tigers back the other way. What a play by Mason Lewis. He just puts his head down and scores.
Finds an angle and goes and just knifes right through that press. I think with both big guys in foul trouble, and now it's a littles game, you're going to see a lot more athletic playmaking going on.
There's a turnover, steal back the other way, and a hard foul. That's going to put Payton at the line.
Payton does a good job ripping him at half court, follows it up, goes up strong, and a good foul there to make him earn the 2 free throws. Nothing dirty about it, just a nice, strong, hard foul as he's going for the block.
Stratton picks up his first. By the way, Rashawn Butts is in, 5'6". And that young man, I wish I had that hair. I know Keith and I both would offer him a few bucks for a couple of locks of his hair. Huh? Payton makes that one. You can tell we've been around way too long and we're wanting people's hair, right?
There you go.
Second free throw is good. Oh, and our producer is really funny,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
33-18 your score. Continentals only 2 points, not a basket scored yet in the quarter. Jump stop in the lane and a steal away by Jenkins.
Good move, and then you see Jenkins with the quick hands there.
7 turnovers now by the Continentals, and a dangerous pass the other way, stolen by Starks. Well, you're going to throw that cross-court pass, you better put some English on it.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Jenkins just picked up his second.
Addicts foul on Demetrius Jenkins, his second. Team's worth of the quarter.
2:48 remaining here in the second quarter. Boy, we saw this in the first game where in 2 different quarters, Heritage Christian just could not buy a basket. Same thing happening here for the Continentals. Scoop shot up and missed by Starks. And somehow the Tigers came away with it. What a spin move. Way up good by Peyton.
Great move. Great job finishing that fast break there. And we got a timeout for an injured player right now. Hope he's okay. I didn't see it. Looked like he fell on his face, holding his left eye there.
Yeah, he is heading to the bench. Again, that's number 33, which is Cameron Brewer, just a sophomore. And Jordan Stratton will come back into the lineup now for the Continentals. A 17-point lead now here in the second quarter. This, by the way, was a 16-16 game at the end of 1. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. This is Stark, stolen away. Hurt on the steal and the block. No whistle on that contact.
Great effort and great hustle to get back on that.
Stratton back the other way, layup good.
4-point swing right there. The Continentals, they really play hard, man.
They do.
They really do.
Here's Butts. Ball knocked away, and they're going to say lost it out of bounds. 6 turnovers now by Addicts.
We got a technical foul here, it looks like, on Hurd. I think he's complaining about the foul.
Yeah,
the no call on the foul, I should say.
Well, I thought it was a lot of contact there.
Oh, for sure.
So Hurt's going to come out. Eric Jackson will come in. And at the line will be David Lee. Now, sometimes you just got to play through it, right?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yep. Only control what you can, control, right?
Yep. So 1 more now for Lee, and then we'll have the substitution. And sometimes, again, you let your emotions get the best of you. So he will head to the bench, Chris Hurt. 5 fouls now on the Tigers. But still a 13-point lead here in the second quarter. It took Washington until 2:03 to score their first basket in this quarter alone.
And really good job. Credit Addicts by really ramping up the man-to-man defense in this quarter on that. Another turnover.
Jackson with the steal. That is now 8 turnovers by Washington. Lewis starts to penetrate, pulls it back out with over 1:20 to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch there by Stellis. Championship Monday night, 7:45. I believe Keith will have some pregame guests who'll join the broadcast early on that one. Stolen away, stripped out of the hands of Starks. Turnovers each way.
Great hands right there.
Pass near side, Lewis on the drive. Basket good.
Mason Lewis so crafty around that basket. At his size, his whole life, he's been the smallest guy on the floor. So he's really learned how to finish at the rim.
One and done there by Lee. Lewis losing it on the floor, and we will have a jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Tigers.
One thing I think Coach Hawkins can talk to his guards about at half, they really are hawking. Since Briscoe's gone out of this game, whenever somebody drives or crosses half court even, and they look like they're going to the basket, the Continentals are swarming whoever has the basketball. And it's led to some turnovers and some deflections.
Well, you talked a little bit ago about both teams going really, really small. I mean, you look at the lineups out there now, not a whole lot of size, is there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Peyton will sit down.
Stratton at 6'4" and Jackson at 6'6", tallest players on each team.
By the way, the possession arrow was not correct, so it will be Continental's basketball. 44.2 remaining. There's still some discussion on whose ball it is. Huh? Yeah, sometimes guys at the table get to watching the game and forget to switch the arrow.
Right.
Quick foul called against Vales.
Alex foul on the ball, Vales. His first penalty in effect.
We are now to the free throw line as Starks, averaging 10 per game, has not scored tonight.
Malik Starks at the line.
No better way to get off the donut than get into the free throw line, make it easy for you.
Yeah, and with 3.7, you can get this thing back to within 13. We will wait for Franklin to take one spot in the lane. We are still talking at the desk.
Yeah, I think now this time is about who the foul was on, maybe.
Yeah. Free throw is no good. Now I think it was Vales, and I think they were making sure that it was 22 Vales, not 23 Peyton. Second free throw by Starks. He misses them both. Battle for the rebound. How about the strength right there of Vales? Vales trapped in the backcourt, and a foul called against the Continentals. They will get Lee on the foul.
And Vales is getting some extended minutes tonight that he normally doesn't get because of the foul issues. He's done a great job. He's came in, he's defended, rebound, had a couple steals, and helping the team win.
On the inbound, and I think we have a foul call against Stellis? They do. Stellis got caught holding. Pass was intended that time for Butts, and Butts couldn't get through because of the hold, and then we'll bring Briscoe back in the lineup with those two fouls.
I think they're going to hold for one here as Rutland and Briscoe coming in for an offensive possession here. We got 30 seconds left. Washington better be careful here they don't get another one, and they did.
Boy, that was quick too, and they got Lee for his second. And that'll put Lewis at the line, who's had a heck of a first half.
And I imagine we'll see Rutland and Briscoe step off the court here, because now the Tigers are going to have to play defense one more time, at least.
Lewis, by the way, 14 points here in the first half, 9 in the second quarter. Mentioned Butts quickly back in. Also in to the lineup. Rashawn Thomas, number 3, is checked in. Second free throw missed. Still a chance right here for the Continentals. Lee for 3, got it.
And that's how you do it. You drive in, you draw the defense and kick it. Earlier, Washington had just been over dribbling into the help.
Butts, that would have been it right at the feet of Vales. It's kicked out of bounds. So back in the lineup will be Rutland and Briscoe now for the Tigers. 7.6 to go. They might have had Jackson cutting to the basket, but Briscoe will go to the line for 2. Boy, he's tough to stop down low.
He is. Great set play there. Briscoe set a pin down, was able to turn. Post, they threw it down to him. Drew a foul. He's going to get 2 shots.
Franklin just picked up number 2. He and Lee have 2. We mentioned Clem Butler with 3. Butler's had to sit pretty much this entire second quarter. Free throw good by Briscoe. He has 10 now here in the first half. Mentioned Lewis 14, Briscoe 10. Rutland has not scored in the first half. Second free throw is good. Coming back into the lineup for Crispus Attucks will be Thomas, a 6'4 junior. Continental's inbounding, 2 seconds to go, 1 second, and the shot's on the way, almost went in for Stratton. But another big quarter. Attucks went on a 13-0 run. They lead it at halftime, 39-25. Coach, your thoughts about the first half?
Well, that 13-0 run has been the difference in the game so far. Obviously, with this being a 14-point lead, but I think if you're Crispus Attucks, you're up 14. Briscoe did not play half the second quarter because of fouls. Rutland did not play the entire second quarter and a chunk of the first quarter because of fouls. Your top 2 leading scorers, and you're up 14, you're going to take it. And I think it's a good chance to show, talk to your kids about how important depth is and why that their hard work that they've done all year means so much.
Leading scores for Attucks in the first half, Mason Lewis with 14, including 9 in the second quarter. Desmond Briscoe with 11 in the first half. 4 points by Hurt. Eric Jackson with 2. Demetrius Jenkins with 4, and Jackson Payton with 4 points. On the other side, Roosevelt Franklin with 2 points. 9 points by Stratton in the first half. 9 points by Lee in the first half. 5 by Butler. But Butler, again, having to sit a majority of that first half as he finished with 3 fouls as well. So Attucks, they outscored Washington 23-9 in that second quarter, and it took Washington until the 2:03 mark to get their first basket in the second quarter. Otherwise, they were relying on free throws the entire time up until that first basket they got by Jordan Stratton. But right now, Attucks with a lead here at halftime, 39-25.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Back once again here at halftime, 39-25 your score. We know Keith Myers is downstairs. Let's go to Keith.
Back at halftime with the score 39-25, a pretty good first half. Kyle Neverett joins us from the Indianapolis Star-News as we're going to get swept off our feet here. Good first half.
Yeah, if Clem Butler could have stayed in the game there, I think Washington had some good things going. Unfortunately, he got in foul trouble for Washington. They tried to get him back in there, and then about 50 seconds later, he gets his third foul. So obviously having him out of the game changes the game plan and just how they operate basically as a team. So hopefully he can get back out there and give him a productive second half. It's been hard to Attucks is a really hard team to play against if you don't have size inside.
Game one, Cathedral pretty much handled Heritage Christian. A lot of people think it'll be probably Attucks and Cathedral. Are you going to be back Monday night? I take it.
Oh, yeah. I'll never miss a city championship game. And especially if those two teams are playing, I would never miss that. Should be, it was a great atmosphere last year. It's always a great atmosphere. Monday night, it's only game in the city, only game in this, in the area really for the most part. So yeah, it'll be fun no matter who's playing. But definitely, if those two, that's a rivalry that's really hot right now, kind of like Tech Cathedral was a few years ago. So that should be a great game, assuming that happens.
Kevin Lewis, he said off the air that IndianaSRN is the best coverage ever. Thank you very much for your comment. But, how many games are you covering every year?
Oh gosh, probably. I counted before. I probably covered 70 to 75, 80 games, somewhere in there.
Okay, we got him beat by about 125. The city, the girls' draw is Sunday. You watch some of the girls' basketball. Who's one of the top contenders to win the state championship?
I know Center Grove and HSE are playing tonight, so that could be a game where you can kind of see, maybe who the team is to beat. Brian Henson covers mostly girls for us, so I don't see as much. I'm not as up on the girls stuff, but I think he's covering that game tonight, so it should be a really good one.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate you.
You bet, no problem.
Second half coming back in just a couple of minutes. As we wrap this up, you'll be back Monday a little bit. I'm going to watch some games and pretty good state tournament, city tournament so far.
Very good city tournament. And you just mentioned state easily. Look at the top two teams that are seated here in the tournament. They could easily, if there weren't for sectionals, they could be playing state finals themselves.
Yep. As we wrap things up, the guys will have the second half for you in just a couple minutes. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have the front row seat.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Halftime score 39-25. Great to have you with us on a Saturday night. Championship will be on Monday night. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Start your career with Boilermakers Local Union 374, 219-845-1000. Washington down by 14. Probably could have been worse. but they're hanging in there. Now they've got to have a solid third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of saw it in the first game. The underdog cut it to 10 at half. This case, 14. And then the third quarter, they got their doors blown off. That can't happen tonight. If you're Washington, you've got to think, hey, let's chip away at this thing. You don't need to get it all back at once. But at 14, it's extremely manageable. Don't get in foul trouble with your big guy. He's got to find a way to, get rebounds and contain Briscoe without fouling him. Just stay big, make him finish over the top, and then get good shots and more fluidity on offense. Right now, there's too much standing around. So we'll see what happens with the Continentals the second half. If you're Addicts, you get Rutland and Briscoe back. You're coming out. You're going to be a little aggressive, try to press, and push this thing up.
Continentals, by the way, they were not in the locker room very long at halftime. They were right back out there, I think, within 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So they came out quick. So let's see if Clem Butler can stay out of foul trouble here in the third quarter, stay as part of an integral part of their offense in this third. Winner again, advancing to the championship coming up on Monday night. Cathedral won their game earlier today, 75-35. So they are in and hoping to get some revenge against the Tigers on Monday.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if that ends up being, it's going to be a fantastic evening of basketball. And we heard Kyle Nedrop say it's probably the only game in the area that night. I would expect a full house at Tech.
It'll be Tigers basketball to begin the third. Rutland, by the way, did not score in that first half, averaging 14 points per game. Continentals open up in that zone. That is Rutland. Shot on the way from the lefty, no good, as Jenkins can't get it to go, and Continentals on the return.
And again, the zone does its job. Good job by Washington there, attacking Rutland with 2 fouls. He didn't pick up a third, didn't quite finish it, but good start if you're Washington.
Stratton missing at the other end, so each team one and done. Entry pass down low intended for Jenkins, a little bit behind him, so a turnover for Addicts.
So 2 possessions, no shot from Briscoe, no shot from Rutland. Again, if you're Washington, this is what you want to do. It's a short sample size right there, but if you can keep it going, you're going to have a chance for some success.
This is Butler out on the high post, handing off to Starks. Starks in the corner. Here's Lee. Has it blocked by Briscoe and out of bounds.
Good job by Washington. Tried to run some flex into a ball screen action. Got the ball moving both ways and were able to get a shot, but Briscoe's just, he's a pretty good player, and at 6'8", he erased it.
Starks trying to inbound, but rejected by Jenkins. Where sometimes against this type of athleticism, it's even hard just to get it inbound.
That's right. We already saw 1 5-second count tonight on a baseline out of bounds.
Entry pass. Here's Butler. Butler passes it up, gives it off now to Lee. His shot no good. Hurt with a rebound. Tigers out on the run. Boy, they're down the floor quickly, aren't they? Here's Rutland. 3-pointer, no. Rebound Starks.
Yes, they are. They get up and get going quick.
Contact and a blocking foul against Rutland, and that's going to be his third.
Yeah, and he's had a tough night. He's a very good and very smart basketball player trying to take the charge there. And sometimes you just have these nights where these things happen. And so, I think Coach Hawkins is going to elect to leave him in, as he should, but and let him play through it.
Well, being a senior, he probably has been here before, so that shot is on the way. Kind of an odd shot there by Lee. I think he was trying to draw contact. As Hurt will bring it up the floor, lead pass will find Jenkins. Nice crossover. Jenkins against the big fella, able to score.
Good job using his body, the big fella. Butler didn't want to pick up another foul, just decided to use his height, and a really good finish there.
Here's Butler. Nice pass inside, but an offensive foul called on Stratton.
Well, and again, we're seeing Washington try to run some set plays here. There was a little back screen. It was a good pass, but he moved a little bit too much and got a little bit too much of him on it.
It's probably not a bad thing if you can make sure the official doesn't see it, but other than that, it's probably not a great thing, is it? So now Addicts basketball. They're working around that perimeter, even have Briscoe out on the outside. Rutland deep in the corner. You know, our pregame guys must be Union guys. They're leaving already. Here's Rutland in the lane, missed it. You know, they'll claim, well, we were here early.
Yeah, they're right.
Ball sent back to where it came from, but able to run it down to Starks. Those long arms of Jenkins causing all kinds of problems. And Hurt able to knock it out of bounds. You know, what kind of people are they? They didn't even bring our producer popcorn. Man. Here's Butler. And he throws it away. Stolen there by Lewis. Lewis will be fouled on the way up. That foul against Stellis. That'll be a second.
And at this point, again, and Troy, you said it before the game, 21 turnovers a game. Right now, it is the Continental's undoing. They've got, you see, they would have scored, but a turnover with an illegal screen, then a throwaway there, which adds a foul and 2 free throws. Really hurting Washington, their inability to take care of the ball right now.
That is now 11 turnovers by the Continentals, still 10 under their season average. As Mason Lewis now with 15 points. Both free throws good. Right now it's setting up to be a rematch of the championship game of 1 year ago, and that was a great game to watch. I think both those teams, if Crispus Attucks goes on to win, they're looking forward to that one.
Oh, no question.
Big fella, Butler, double teamed, able to get rid of it outside the lead. This is Starks, left side Stellis, looking back down low. Here's Butler. Butler may have traveled with it, and he did.
And him and Briscoe are having some words, having a nice little one-on-one battle down there, and I think Briscoe's daring him, just standing behind him in the post to score on him right now.
Well, wouldn't you like to see Butler able to come with that turn to the left with maybe a little jump hook or something in the lane?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had him on his left shoulder there, but he's got to go up and finish it instead of traveling. So, and that'll come with time for him.
Here's Rutland trying to make it a 20-point ball game here in the third. Attucks being very patient offensively. Jenkins down low, the kick out. Here's Rutland wide open. This time he nails it.
And that's what he can do, and great job by Attucks. Troy, you said it, their patience paid off. They had everybody to sink down, and Ron Rutland gets a wide open three, and now this thing's up to 21.
Give Jenkins the assist. Good look here near side to Stellis. The offense stagnant again for the Continentals. They're now halfway through and they've not scored yet in this quarter. Ball loose, Rutland. Ball by himself at the other end, and Rutland 5 straight points. And we've got a timeout on the floor, 49-25.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game. Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
All Crispus Attucks at this point. They've gone on another run here in the third quarter. A 9-0 run. They had a 13-0 run in the second. Continental's in danger of letting this one get out of hand to the point where they may not have enough to come back.
Yes, and no question about it, as they really struggle to score this half. And part of it is they're not getting field goal attempts. They keep turning it over.
High post here to Butler. Stratton with the basketball. 9 points in the first half. will reset it as he directs Starks on the high post as well, along with Butler. Butler hands off now to Starks. This is Franklin at midcourt. Franklin on the drive, stripped out of his hands. Another turnover, lead pass, and another turnover the other way. Back to Lee. His three-pointer good.
Couple turnovers, and Lee ends up getting a good look and makes it count.
9 turnovers now by Addix. 14 the other way. Strong drive basket good by Chris Hurt.
Great move by him, and then switching over to his right hand to avoid the shot block by Butler there.
51-28 your score. Here's Franklin. Lee will take it on the baseline, looks inside. They're trying to get it to Butler. Butler turns against Briscoe. The handoff, the drive, the miss, the putback good. How about that shot by Franklin?
Nice job. Again, we talked about Washington plays hard. They're just not giving up on plays. They just got to clean some things up, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah, they're going to be tough in the tournament, won't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Briscoe. No. High for the rebound. Put back. Yes. Jenkins. Boy, he went up there and skied to get that one.
Sure did.
Continentals basketball. This is Starks. Spins, loses it. Starks diving for it and hands everywhere. And we have a jump ball on this one. Possession arrow will be in favor of the Continentals.
Well, I think you're talking about come tourney time between, sectional 28 where Washington is at is probably a very underrated sectional with Purdue Poly, Crystal House, and these Continentals. That is going to be very competitive at the top between those three teams.
I'm sure Purdue Poly like another shot at him.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep.
Don't you love those revenge games?
Oh. John Harrell has a specific category for it on his website.
Revenge games?
Revenge games.
I didn't know that.
Every year in the sectional, the revenge games.
Blocked by Briscoe, and he didn't like that call as he will pick up his third. Some of the fans don't like it either.
Addix foul on Briscoe. His third. Team second in the quarter. Jordan Stratton at the line.
Stratton at the line. He's had a pretty good night at the free throw line. He's 5 of 5. Chance to get into double figures, and he will. Back to a 22-point lead. By the way, with that foul, Briscoe will sit down. Back in the lineup is Jenkins. The miss, the putback good. The big fella inside. That's going to be Butler. He has 7.
Now that's going to work out well for them. It'll be a 4-point possession.
Yeah. I don't know the background of Clem Butler, but I tell you what, you give him some time to work with the big guys, and he could be pretty good.
He's got a nice looking stroke. He unfortunately he's a senior, but that's okay. There's going to be a college that's going to take a chance at him.
Oh, no doubt about it. He just changed that shot, but then the rebound good by Jenkins. Chris Hurt driving in, trying to draw the foul on Butler. There's a tip and a turnover. 14. Back the other way, quickly down the floor, and a foul call that'll put Peyton at the line for 2.
And we see the turnover, going down, fouling, and 2 free throws here. Kind of the story of the night.
So I'm expecting probably a kind of a track meet on Monday.
I very well could see that with the way these two teams, the athletes they have, the guards they have. Then you got Kohler at 6'8", who's kind of a stretch 4 type player. And then Briscoe, who's capable of making a jump shot, but was more of a bruiser. Both of these guys have some, really good offers at the next level going against each other with these guards. It's a very intriguing matchup.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Second free throw good by Peyton, 6 tonight. 57-34. Here is Lee, missed it. Rutland sent almost into the stands by Butler. That's his 4th. He'll have to come out. We'll see Stratton back in. I'm sure Rutland was thinking, I had a couple of those fouls in the first half that, okay, you gave them to me, but that one he's wondering,
right,
well, am I going to get a call on this one?
Right.
Pushing it quickly is Jenkins, and Jenkins down the lane gets the foul by Starks. Tell you what, I have to say it again, Coach. That's some pretty quick. I mean, it's almost I barely look up and they're already down at the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about these guards too is that there's no let up. They see that angle and they see there's no one there. There's a hole. They're not going to hesitate. They're going.
Yeah. Demetrius Jenkins, 10 points tonight. Very smooth, as we mentioned, most left-handers are. There's just something about, you can talk about in football, the left-handed quarterbacks, you talk about basketball players, left-handed shooters, and then baseball hitters and pitchers, and they just have such an advantage over us right-handers.
They do, don't they?
It's not fair, is it? Jenkins gets the second.
They've got the sweetest looking strokes in baseball when they swing that bat and in basketball when they shoot those jumpers.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. always reminds me of that swing he had.
That's right.
Boy, you even see more left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL these days, too, don't you?
You do.
And boy, they can fire the
bat. They can swing
football. 59-34. Here's Franklin. Scoop shot, no.
The heck of a move through
basketball.
Traffic. Yeah.
Boy, no kidding.
Man.
I'm not quite sure how you can bring the ball from one to the other without, it's almost like the speed of light or something that fast. I think all I would accomplish in doing is just throwing it out of bounds. Here's Franklin once again. Continental's just 2 baskets in this quarter. Shot missed by Franklin. Rebound Rutland.
They're all over Rutland.
Oh. Maybe it was that piece Ron got in the Star this week, as he misses that one. But anytime they start writing about you is when you're in trouble. Almost a turnover, and then the layup good by Stratton. Nice play by Hurt to get it across the timeline. 10 seconds remaining. Pair of ones going at each other, and a turnover.
And Washington turned up the pressure.
Basket good by Franklin, and that's going to do it. After 3, 59-38.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Back once again here at Tech High School, 59-38. Washington outscored 19-13. Of course, they had the 2 baskets late that helped them in that quarter. But right now, Addicts 8 minutes away from advancing to the championship coming up on Monday night. I want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. Piper Warehouse is a logistics professionals company dedicated to working together to provide their clients with complete logistics in Indianapolis and Cincinnati. You can roll with them today by giving them a call at 317-396-1023.
Some more mix-up at the scores table, and we've had a few of those.
I think they worked the JV game, they worked the last game, and now they're working this game, so maybe they're just a little bit tuckered out. We got a little bit of extracurricular activity going on in the hallway there too. That's going to stop the game.
Stop the game, yep.
I don't have a feel. I have a feeling that's not going to end good for anyone. On that one, is it?
No question. Is they're going to bring both teams to the bench.
So that's going to draw a little bit of a crowd as well, which generally isn't going to be good at this situation. You hate to see that in any event, any sporting event, but at the high school level, it just can sometimes really make things kind of ugly. There is security here. And once they get that part straightened out, we'll be able to continue play.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Unfortunate for sure. Got two teams, two schools with some, tremendous student athletes here coming out competing, and, it gets detracted away by silliness like this. So this looks like it's getting wrapped up. But
so apparently as well, there must be something wrong with the clock as well, because this is 3 minutes and 70 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that my mathematics at Wyoming said that can't be right.
That's right.
There's a lot of backwards things in Wyoming, but math ain't one of them, Coach.
Math ain't one of them.
All right, I think they got it fixed now.
Yep.
Oh, here they go. They're fixing the points. They get it yet?
There we go.
All right, we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Right now, Addicts now less than 8 minutes away from a return to the championship. Strong drive, layup, good.
Beautiful take by Eric Jackson.
Man, he's strong too, isn't he? 6'6".
Yep.
Shot missed. Jackson, lead pass the other way. Layup good, and we've got a foul.
And a foul. We got an and one here.
Vales out on the run. Yeah, I think they got 1 point short. But I'm sure they'll straighten it out. I think they're still having some issues down there on the scorer's table. At the line here is Devon Vales, and he missed that one badly. Rebounded by Clem Butler. Here's Butler. Butler with the left hand, missed it. You can tell he's very raw on offense.
Indeed. Did a good job sticking with it, too.
Here's Rutland. Nice feed inside, and a traveling call against Jackson. I think he just kind of stepped and slipped.
Yeah.
Pass intended inside. They'll get Jackson once again, or is this going to be Jenkins? It will be Jackson.
Eric Jackson.
So you come down, you slip down at one end, you get the travel. That stinks. You come down and it gets you for a reach. You know, it's like, come on. Give a guy a break here. Here's Starks. Blocked shot. How about the block there by Peyton?
Peyton timed that one up perfect, didn't he?
Another turnover. Peyton not a big guy either. It isn't like he's, 6'7" or something. I think Franklin picked up the foul, his third. Nope, they're going to say Starks instead. So we're going to put it at 62-38. Well, there's another three, this time by Vales.
And I said it earlier, but Vales isn't a guy who gets a lot of minutes or a lot of spotlight, but he's came in tonight and done really well. And I'm glad he hit that three, not known as a shooter per se, but, did well on defense and getting some steals, rebounding, guarding, and now he's able to get a shot. He knocks it in.
You were talking about the depth, too, and guys that come off the bench and make a difference, and you mentioned Vales right there, and the play of Eric Jackson tonight's been big. It just is so nice to have a bench that can come in and make that kind of production.
Absolutely, and that's how you win tournaments like the Hall of Fame Classic, the way that the Tigers did. You have 2 high-quality opponents in one day.
Yeah.
And for Attucks to go in there, and I think they won both games pretty handily too. And to do that is a compliment to not only the coaching staff but everyone on that roster.
1 of 2 there for Stratton. Boy, another drought here by Washington, but they get the turnover and the missed layup, the tip out after Franklin can't get it to go. Bales, 3-pointers off the mark, and the rebound high, that one on Starks. Both teams still playing hard despite a 65-39 lead. This is Stratton. Stratton by Rutland, and Rutland gets called for the foul. That'll be his 4th.
Team's 3rd in the quarter.
Rutland heading to the bench. He has 5 points. Just kind of a frustrating night, I'm sure, for Ron Rutland, but he'll be big on Monday, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll need him to be against Cathedral, that's for sure.
Jordan Stratton at the line shooting 2.
So here is Stratton at the line, 1 of 2 here in the quarter. Make it 1 of 3. They've been held in almost 2 minutes of play, just to 1 free throw in this 4th quarter. Second free throw is no good. Long rebound and able to sneak it out. There's the smallest guy on the floor, Butts. Well, they think of guys that are 5'6" or so, but they hustle.
That's right.
Wide open shot on the way, no good. Jackson can't get it to fall. Here come the Continentals once again. The drive inside, layup good by Starks. 65-41. Here's a shot from 3 in the corner, good. Peyton.
Peyton's had a nice second half tonight. He's had a nice game tonight, really.
Yeah, really has. Off the bench, I have him for 9. Big guy inside, basket good, and he'll go to the line, Clem Butler.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Clem Butler does after high school this year. I think he's certainly got a future in basketball ahead of him if he wants it. Seems like a very mild-mannered kid, takes coaching well, and he's always a place for somebody that's 6'11".
Yeah,
on a roster.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, even if you just tried to develop him for a couple of years, right? Maybe by the time he's a junior, and the way the redshirt program works now, you might get a couple more years out of him.
That's right.
Nice pass down low, and the layup good at the other end as Thomas lays that one in. That pass a little bit too much over the head of Clem Butler. That'll be their 16th turnover. Still under their average of 21. Here's Butts. Hurt will feed it in the corner. 3-pointer up and good. And there's Thomas again. Another turnover.
Another steal.
A lot of contact there by Stratton.
We'll get the late whistle on that. 2 free throws.
17 turnovers now by Washington. Here is Chris Hurt. Hurt 6 points tonight. Good balanced scoring this evening by the Tigers.
Yeah, especially with Rutland. I think only had maybe, 5 points tonight? Yeah. And Briscoe, I don't know if he scored much since, he started out hot with 7.
11. All in the first half.
All in the first half, yeah. Yep.
Hurt gets them both. They'll be led by Mason Lewis with 16. Also in the scoring column, Demetrius Jenkins with 12. 9 points tonight by Peyton. Bales with 5, Thomas 5. Inside the block of the big fella. I think that Thomas got a piece of that one. Hurt, the kick out, Line drive 3. Wow, Rashawn Thomas has 8.
A quick 8, too.
Boy, no kidding. Shot at the other end, good by Franklin. By the way, the scoreboard just went off.
Yep. Yeah, it did.
So we don't know what's going on.
Those issues have been happening all night out of Troy.
Well. Oh, this isn't good. You ever seen the movie Airplane when they're at the airport and he unplugs it? Just kidding. That's what happened right there.
That's right. And sometimes that'll happen. You know, people move their feet or get kicked around, something comes loose.
Yep. Now it's back on. 4:14 to go. 78-44. Did they call that foul on Butler? It's actually 46.
46, yeah, and they're updated.
I think Butler might have picked up the foul. If he did, that was his 5th. So he goes to the bench. Actually, he'll end up in double figures with 10. Shot missed inside, and Hurt will go to the line again.
Hurt just getting position there on a baseline out of bounds play.
Coach, this might be a long 4 minutes.
It could. It's got that potential, doesn't it? Now, we're close to 35, though.
Yes,
and we get that running clock.
That's true. This, again, was a game that was 16-16 after 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Attucks went on that 13-0 run and outscored Washington 23-9 in that quarter. And since then, it has been all Crispus Attucks. How about that steal? Vales the other way, missed the dunk. How about Thomas, though, hustling to get the rebound? And then he turns it over.
Yeah. Do we have another one coming? No.
A couple of changes as Shackelford is in now for Washington, and that's going to be Stratton. By the way, I was going to ask you, shouldn't a missed dunk be considered a turnover?
You know, that's a good question. Circumstantial, right?
Yeah.
If you miss a wide open dunk, that's a yeah.
I'm giving him one.
You're giving.
Yeah. Here is Butts quickly pushing the ball up the floor. Lob pass. Boy, I tell you what, Thomas looked like he was going to make it there, but taken away by Stratton. Stratton, Euro step, right hand no. Rebound blocked inside. Here come the Tigers again. Layup good. Hurt with the layup. Does that put us at 35, Coach?
That's
my math.
34 now.
Oh, 34 now.
Up 32.
Well, Franklin. 10 points now by Franklin. I told you my math was good, but not that good. Here's Vales for 3. Missed it. Washington making some changes in their lineup as well as Azale Hale is in. How about Butts? No.
Oh. And it's Sunday afternoon rec league right now.
Butts. And he's going to throw it off the ball. And the alley-oop dunk to Payton.
And that's going to get the crowd going. Beautiful pass. Woo. And a great job by Payton. Again, he's not the biggest guy, man, but.
How about that block by Thomas? Butts. Lob. Basket good.
Well, it's certainly entertaining here.
Boy, no kidding. By the way, it's at 36 now. So clock will run the rest of the way. The drive and the basket good by Franklin. Got a change here as a little bit banged up is Payton. Has to come out after that dunk, huh?
That is a swan song for the night.
No kidding.
Yep.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Of course, right now the Tigers just want to run this out and think about Monday night. Talked about it earlier that Cathedral advanced. So they are awaiting the winner of this contest.
And what a game it's going to be. Again, Addicts and Cathedral playing for all the marbles in the city. 2 teams in Sectional 10 as well. So I think, this may not be the last time they meet either.
Basket good by Franklin. By the way, Chris Hurd has had a great fourth quarter. 10 points in the 4, 16 on the night. And we've got a foul call. We'll walk to the other end.
Well, and Chris Hurd, just, another cog in that well-oiled Addicts Tiger machine that we've seen tonight. And so many different guys have stepped up. So many different guys have played, what they normally do, but also with Rutland and Briscoe not hitting their averages tonight, other guys have stepped up and they've got 88 points with a minute 14 left. It's pretty impressive.
That is. Although I'm not sure if Vales is going to pull that back and try it again, but he missed it, airballed it, so he'll try one more. Hits that one. There's another turnover by the Continentals, and then Butts will step out of bounds. It looks like we might have another foul called against Starks. Actually, it was last touched by Starks.
Oh.
Off the inbound, intended for Thomas, thrown away. Some of these turnovers are, as you said earlier, we're kind of in rec ball time here now. So.
Yep.
So don't forget, as we begin to wind this one down, we'll be back Monday night. 3 is on the way and missed by Stratton. Last touch there by Butts.
And interestingly enough, these 2 teams will meet in 5 days again.
Yeah. Layup good by Stratton. That game at Addicts or will be in Washington?
I believe it's at Washington. Okay. I believe so.
Time running out in this one as Addicts wins it tonight, 89-56 for Addicts. They're now 12-3. Washington falls to 8-7. Your final thoughts on the 2 games tonight? What are you expecting Monday night?
Well, I think we saw both favorites come out and establish themselves. Certainly kind of what everyone had forecasted and predicted. I thought Heritage Christian and Washington both showed a lot of fight and both had some runs in them early in the game, but the talent of the Tigers and the Fighting Irish is just a little bit overwhelming, and I think you see why they were the 1 and 2 seed and why they'll be battling out yet again for the city championship.
I want to make a prediction for Monday, or
I'm going to stay away from that, but I will say it's going to be a terrific game, and honestly, I'd have to think about it before I can make a prediction, to be honest. I think it's very evenly matched. 2 high-octane teams, great guard play, 2 high-level recruits at your 4 position. So I think it's going to be a real barn burner.
Going to be a place to be. Coach, good to see you again. Thanks
always,
as always. Did a great job. Final score: Crispus Attucks beats Washington 89-56.